see who cancels who.
They want you to comply.
Hi, friends.
Hey,
Hello.
are we surviving, everybody? How we doing?
Surviving, thriving.
Awesome.
I'm doing good. I'm all right. I'm doing fine. I'm hanging in there. How about you?
Surviving, thriving, and not yet unaliving. So we're doing okay.
Nice.
Oh, is that something you made up, or is that a thing the kids
I
are
just
saying
made it up
to you?
after Lance said it, and then I'm like, oh, I could add something
I
else.
set
in
him
there.
up. That's what we
Yeah.
call the alley-oop.
Thank you, Lance. How have you been, Ariana?
I've been good. I'm sorry I didn't come on last week. I had the woke mob was after me, so
Oh no.
Bastards.
I figured I'd take some time off.
Mhm.
No, but the Reddit basement dwellers have found my account, so they did. I don't know how they had time, but they were deep sweeping into my tweets from like 2021 and 2022 and posting it on Reddit. And we've all evolved. Like,
Mhm.
back when Joe Biden first ran, I was very much pro Joe Biden. Then, I kind of turned more and more leftist when I saw Biden's failures. So, anyways, it's very easy to just screenshot someone's tweets and take it out of context from like years ago.
Mhm.
So I
Are
decided
you saying
to just
you've
take some time
evolved?
off. Yes,
Are
I
they punishing
have
you for it?
evolved. Surprisingly, right? They can't handle it. But yeah, anyways, I'm back. Hello, everyone.
Nice. I'm glad I saw you doubling down. You had the picture of you with your middle finger, and I'm like, that's my niece. Love it.
Yeah, I had to, because it's like, I don't care how much you guys bully me. Like, I said what I said. If I go back,
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it back. And, what was really telling to me is that I didn't lose any followers. I didn't lose any subscribers. I didn't lose any following at all. It was a group of people who are seemingly attacking people like me. And there were so many other creators that, made YouTube videos about me and posted it on Instagram, and people went after them hardcore. And people were like, hey, this is racist. Hey, you're going after a Middle Eastern person. Like, this isn't cool. And a lot of them took down their posts. Some of them posted, some of them posted their posts, and then I would repost it on my story, and I'd say, hey, can you guys report this page? And then they would immediately take it down. And I'm like, that's what I thought. So, just thought I would take some time off, though, just so I can.
Yeah.
That's why you can't find my posts going after Ariana, because the woke mob came for me after she.
Matt had to delete them.
Yeah, I had to delete them. They were coming at me too hard. I couldn't keep them up. My
I did have
I
to
don't
get in
even
on the
know. I
action.
don't
I
even
made a couple of
know.
tweets against Ariana myself. I did have to call her. What are they even calling you? I don't even know what they're calling you. I was gonna say shitlib,
They were
but that's
calling
what
me
we're
a
called.
Trump. No, they were calling me a Trump supporter.
Oh yeah, I had to make a couple of tweets calling you a Trump supporter as well, just because you have to hop
Yeah.
on that bandwagon. No, I
Yeah.
think that one thing that you realize when this happens so many times is that usually when you get these like groups of people that pounce on you, 9 times out of 10, they're not your own audience. And it gets easier to endure when you realize that there's literally nothing that's going to come from this. My favorite ever, and by the time I had multiple like brigading, I was quote tweeted by what's her name, J.K. Rowling, and I had so many British people in my mentions, and I love that they were calling me a homophobe because of specifically the post that I responded to, where she's trying to make it seem like she is pro gay because trans kids are just gay kids that are being trans. So like they were calling me a homophobe. And I was just sitting back and just enjoying it so much because these people have no fucking idea who I am. And it was easy to just let it roll off my shoulders, knowing that like this isn't my core audience. Nobody knows who the fuck I am, who's responding to me. It is completely meaningless. It's not gonna amount to anything. So you build up that like I feel like you build up the tolerance with time. And yeah, just it gets easier. Like there are some comments that still affect me. Like I'm not gonna pretend like I have the thickest skin in the world, but it really does take a lot.
Right. For
it just
people
takes
who are
time.
tuning in, for people who may be tuning in for the first time and are unfamiliar with Mike Figueredo, the reason he was smiling when people were calling him a homophobe is because he hates gay people. So it just doesn't even matter to him. He just
Right. I mean, listen, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, and I'm not gonna back down from that position. So, you know.
Is that how you accomplished your 600,000 subs? You did the heel turn, and then all of a sudden you just
Yeah.
I mean, how else would you get big
Yeah.
on YouTube if you weren't a reactionary right winger? I mean, obviously.
Mhm. I tried to be progressive, but it didn't work, so I just had to start beating up on gay people.
Right. And
Congratulations,
Mike
by the
just
way.
took the Mike
Thank
just
you.
took the
Thank
easy
you.
way. He took the easy street down to YouTube success.
You know,
I'm
what
out
people
of
don't
it
know
today.
is that I've been pretending to be
Wearing a
gay
Dare
all
shirt.
this time. I was just like sneaking in. I married a guy to see how the homosexuals live, and now that I know, it's content nuke. I'm spilling the beans on these homos. It's over for them.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it worked for Milo for a while until it didn't. So you do what
That's
you got to do.
true. Is he still, by
There's
the way,
there's a
pretending
moment
to be
you
anti-gay?
shared. I think it was you, Lance, that we should watch on the stream.
I was going
Where
to say, if
Milo
you
was
haven't
on-
seen it, Mike. Speaking of Milo,
I've not
he just
seen it.
had the most. Oh, he just had the most amazing moment on Tim Pool's show, and I'm not going to ruin the clip by saying this. He was trying to call out Dave Rubin for Tenant, and
Let's
didn't
watch
know.
it. Pull it up. Let's watch.
Okay, all right.
Send it to Mike or or you can
Yeah,
do it.
let's-
Share it. Get
I have
together.
not seen anything from this, so I need something to get my mind off of the chaos.
It's also, I think, a pretty heterophobic way of dressing. He's dressed how he believes heterosexual people dress, and I think he was quite discriminatory in that. So,
Oh, no kidding. Are you revoking his Straget pass? To the extent that you're able to do that?
Yeah,
I think
don't
Matt's
know-
the only one
I don't
that
know
can
if
actually revoke
bisexuals
that.
have that power.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Matt might be the only one that can do that.
I sent
Yeah, I'm
it-
the
I sent it
only.
to you,
I'm
Mike.
the only straight white cis male on the show.
Okay, I'll pull it in. Let's see. Oh wow, just looking at this, that is not how straight men dress. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's a choice.
Let's pull it up. What are you doing? You're watching it without even putting it on.
No, I'm bringing it in. Give me a second. David usually does this. Okay.
There you go.
Wow.
Necklace and everything. Wow. Okay.
I'm saying in general, big picture.
No,
You
they know
can
exactly where the money's coming from. Dave
Some-
Rubin knew where the money was coming from when it was coming from Russia. He used it to buy his children. That
That is 100% false. And you know that ropes me into it, and I can verify it's 100% false.
Can I just comment on the way he said that? He used it to boy his
Yeah,
children.
why do you say it like that?
Wow.
Is
That
he
was
high?
really
No, this is how straight people talk. He's being extra straight.
all my straight friends are like,
Oh.
yes, dear, they use it to buy their children. You know, that's
Yeah, like a
all my
posh
straight.
British.
Yeah, all my straight friends sound like this.
All right.
Completely untrue.
It is so.
And this is important big picture stuff
it
because
is so
USAID
but
is
it's just-
funneling
it's just
money into
It's
NGOs.
irresponsible in the extreme to the point of ludicrous negligence to not know where hundreds of thousands of dollars are coming from. To not even ask.
And that's not the story at all. So if you knew what you're talking about, maybe it'd sound smarter.
All right. Well, I will.
But clearly, as the story has already been reported and you haven't read any of it, which involves me, which I find particularly insulting, is that certainly Dave, I, as well as Benny, did ridiculous due diligence in digging and trying to figure out what the source of
Apparently
the
not.
revenue was beyond your typical ad deal. So when I get an ad sale person who comes to me and says, this company
I didn't
this-
remember that you were involved in that.
This company wants to sell, they want to buy 100,000 ad reads
Can you
over this
pause it
amount of
for a
time.
second,
No.
Because I gave him way too much credit when I started seeing this clip. I was like, oh, was that kind of like just him subtly throwing shade? No, he just didn't realize it. But I was like, how did you not know Tim Pool was one of the 6 main figures who was involved in the tenant scandal? How did that not cross your mind at all? And I was just sitting there like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm terribly
Wow. He accidentally stepped in it.
sorry. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Keep it going though. Keep it going.
Okay, this is good.
One. Anywhere in media says, tell me who their investors are, get me on the phone with him. And when this stuff went down, Dave, Benny, I, and many others said, we want to know what this is all about. Who is this involved with? And when you get a prominent conservative personality based out of Nashville with an American company and says, here's the investors,
was
they're
a
going to
Canadian
talk to you,
company.
explain it. Here's the proof. We go, Okay, well, like a prominent conservative personality is running a company out of Nashville.
Lauren Chen.
Lauren Chen.
Was she a prominent personality?
Certainly was. Hundreds of thousands of followers on the Blaze. Everybody knew she was, and she had a story, and so we did some digging.
I've never heard of her before this.
And so this is the point.
I didn't remember you.
This is the big
I didn't remember you were a victim of
Right.
that. So I apologize for casting aspersions if that was your impression.
So to imply,
I didn't remember you were a victim of that. But
now let's go to the big picture on USAID and other NGO funding. Now, certainly that affects us. When someone, I'll say it again. We right now have probably, 30 advertisers who've come to us and wanted to buy ads. And we said, we're in a holding pattern right now doing negotiations. They're offering us $50,000, sometimes for one ad read. One company says, we'll give you $50,000 to promote our company. Do we say, I want the CEO on the phone. I want to know who funded them. I want to know where that funding came from.
Nobody does that, but that wasn't quite.
And this is the point when I say about David Pakman and you say I'm being too nice. I'm saying when we know those things happen, take a look at where USAID was giving their money and see how much of those NGOs were buying ad reads in media because you know they are.
Well, you're not going to like this, but to take money from somebody so obviously ludicrously insubstantial as Lauren Chen and not ask more questions seems stupid to me.
Except there were questions asked.
Well, I don't want to
Milo's
because
calling
I'm not trying to attack you. I didn't remember that.
That was amazing.
I mean, even Milo, he stepped in it and then he realized that but I do have this opinion, it's. I mean, first of all, he's trying to conflate the ad, taking an advertisement sponsorship deal or something is the same
completely different
as a syndication or being paid just for your output. It is so clearly not the same.
He was paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to copy and paste videos he already made for YouTube. That amount of money is obscene by any metric.
But he's trying to conflate. He's trying to conflate the payment by saying he gets $50,000 sometimes for an ad read, basically saying, look, I can make half that just by reading an ad. Are we supposed to look into this advertisement? Well, the advertiser's selling a product. It's quite clear what their purpose is. I mean, if they have Russian funding, but they're selling a product that's fucking toilet paper, then the purpose isn't whatever it is. They're just an investment business thing, whatever, who cares? But if you have someone paying for you to make specific content or to re-air your content, like a syndication, and you don't understand what they're getting out of it, because to me, it's still not clear what they were getting out of it. If you have no idea that they're using it for their own propaganda, efforts, then you didn't do your job, because it makes no sense. You didn't ask why are you paying this much money just to re-air my content?
Well, no, that's not fair. That's not fair. They did want to know who the billionaire backer was, and they got a PDF. And that shiny PDF said that it was a guy called Edward Gregorian, and that he was very wealthy and important.
I forgot his name. It was so funny. Edward Gregorian.
Edward Gregorian.
Oh,
the real
my
human.
God.
That's clearly a touchy
listen,
subject for them.
I looked up Edward Gregorian after this. I remember when it first happened, and I was first on Edward Gregorian looking up all the stuff. And one of his things, because remember, Russia doesn't really quite get the entirety of what the United States, the American right-wing reactionary believes. Some of Edward Gregorian's background was social justice and stuff.
Oh, and that was the only concern that Dave Rubin had. Dave Rubin's only concern was he didn't want to be involved with anything woke. So he was I just need to make sure this guy, it says social justice, he doesn't care about woke things, do he? And then they was no, he doesn't. And then he was okay, I'm fine. Yep, I'll take the hundreds of thousands of dollars, please. I'm a victim. All these victims were paid more for a video than most people get their entire lives.
I love the name Edward Gregorian too. It reminds me of those early Japanese Nintendo games where they were making a US American football game and trying to figure, or I think it was a baseball game, and they were trying to think of what an American name sounds like, and there was Frank Furter or something like that. It's really ridiculous.
Mr. America.
Yeah, like Brock Star Spangled. Edward Gregorian.
So on the subject, sorry, go ahead, Lance.
Well, I was just gonna say none of these victims gave any of the money back or donated it to a charity. Just so we're clear, I keep hearing this narrative: they're all victims. We were all victimized. I can't believe Lauren Chen took advantage of all of us, those crafty Canadians. And it's like, yeah, but did y'all give the money back, or are you just sitting on it and add it to the pile? I
Apparently not. Man, if I were a victim and I got hundreds of thousands of dollars, I would have to say I would have been happy to have been victimized in that circumstance.
Yeah, victimize me next, baby.
Yeah, victimize me more, please.
Yeah, I would love that personally. So I was gonna say on that subject. So Dave Rubin was confronted about this as well by, is it Harry or Henrin? Henry or Harry?
One of those Japanese football games.
Not Henrin.
Henron.
Oh my god.
I just made up the name of my next cat. I'm gonna name my next cat Henrod.
Oh my god.
Hermione. Henry.
You got J.K. Rowling on the brain.
I do. Oh, that was amazing. God. So he brought this up. And every once in a while, you've got to give the resistance liberals credit for cooking. This was fucking hilarious.
In a second, but listen, and maybe you'll learn something. I know you're making all your money from the Chinese Communist Party via TikTok. I get that.
And Dave is making his money from the Russians, right? We understand, right?
Dude, shut the fuck up.
Piers,
Piers,
look at him, Piers. I've gotten under his skin. I've gotten under his skin.
No, because you're in a second, but listen, and maybe you'll learn.
Angry Dave Rubin is the funniest Dave Rubin. Oh my god.
That is so funny.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I don't get why it bothers them so much. Like, they get so upset about it.
Yeah, they really do.
Like, it's really weird how much it bothers them. Like, you got the money.
I don't know if it's because it makes them look stupid. I don't know if it's because like they were in such close proximity to a very clear attempt by a foreign government to influence America, and they played a role in that. I don't think that is why they're so upset. Like, I don't know. I think it's the ego thing. Maybe it's just like that hurts them. I don't know.
It's like they get very upset. Like, it's one thing to be like, you know, they feel, you know, obviously they're not happy. That's how that played out, perhaps. But they get very angry about it, like really upset, like way more. Like, listen, if someone duped me by sending me hundreds of thousands of dollars, I would be like, oh well, that happened anyway.
Yeah, if you didn't have to change any of your show, any of your editorializing, like they were just taking the clips from your other channel and they gave you all the money, and it's like, by the way, that turned out to be associated with like China or something. I'm like, wow, that's wild.
Right.
Anyways,
Like, usually
I made so much money.
When you get duped, you lose money. They somehow got duped and made money, and they're upset about it.
It just goes to show you it wasn't enough money to them to I guess be worth it for the headache, although I'm not sure because they still took it. I don't know, it's embarrassing. I don't know what to say about them, but I do love that they're super touchy about it.
If someone offered me $100,000 per episode of my show and I looked into it and found out that there was Russian backing to it, let me tell you, I would forget that there was Russian backing so quickly and take that money.
I would just say it. I'd be like, yeah, Russia wants to pay me $100,000 to do nothing, absolutely nothing. I literally just have to copy and paste the Surf Times onto another channel.
Right. I would be upfront about it too, right? If I'm being serious, I'm not joking. Yeah, I'm just disclosed.
I'm not gonna lie about
Russia
it.
Russia's paying me to say this.
I didn't have to change anything about what I was saying. You know?
Yeah. So there's a lot that happened this week, but I just want to point out something. I don't know if you all heard about this. This headline blew me the fuck away. It's about somebody in our circle that I just found out. Okay, hang on, let me bring it in. Ex-Mayor Bill de Blasio announces new girlfriend on eve of Valentine's Day. Progressive activist Namiki Khan.
Wait, what? What? Wait, but
what?
It's New York Post. It's New York Post gossip stuff. I don't really want to talk about this. Actually,
is it true? I'm curious.
I don't care. It is crazy and interesting.
No, hold on. We need to talk about this. This is you can't just say this is New York Post. We can't talk about this.
Come on.
Hell yeah.
We don't need to.
Nomi, come on this show. We want to. I haven't talked to her in a while, but like, is this true? What the hell?
Can we
I don't
see
know
where
what to
they
make
got
of this.
the information from? I'm curious.
They say that Bill de Blasio is the one who announced it. I don't know where. They just say, so let me read just the first couple of sentences. His political career may be over, but his heart will go on. Former Mayor Bill de Blasio revealed Thursday that he is in a new romantic relationship with a raven-haired progressive pundit, decades his junior, who shares his lefty views and his desire to, quote, cuddle. Like, is this not this feels like satire?
Where did these gossip columnists get this? Like,
I didn't look into it. I was shell shocked by the headline.
Raven-haired progressive pundit.
Right.
Okay, let's do some sleuthing.
Yeah, we need to figure this out. Chat, get on this. Because I want the tea. I genuinely.
It's on the Daily Beast as well. It's on non-rigs.
Oh.
Yeah,
I just don't care. This doesn't mean nothing.
It's
more
not
important things.
It's not that I care or that I'm offended. Like, if people find love with each other, I think that's beautiful. It's just I don't know. It's just unexpected.
How does that work though? Like, how do you not eat each other's faces out after like 2 hangouts?
Wait, what? I don't know if you want to use that terminology in the
context. You get what I mean? Like, how do you not like claw each other's eyes out? You get what I mean? Whatever you want to call it. Like,
yeah.
Like, I could never be with a liberal.
We've known each other for a long time and are very kindred souls, he said in a text. Apparently it's real. He wanted to announce it on Valentine's using a red heart emoji.
Wow.
All right.
And he did separate from his wife in 2023, but they have yet to divorce.
Okay. Well, congratulations
to all involved.
Yeah, it's just I didn't expect it. When you see somebody that's like in the space, in that context with that headline, it's like, what?
Yeah,
that politician
came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. I had no idea. So yeah, there you go. A little Valentine's Day story for you all to warm the hearts. There's a lot of other stuff that went on this week.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know. I didn't talk about it today, so I wouldn't mind knowing your opinions on all of y'all's new appointees. Apparently, RFK Jr. got installed. Tulsi Gabbard as well. Is that that's real?
I mean, nothing.
That's the world we live in.
It's official. Okay. Yep. Polio's coming back,
at
everyone.
This point, I've made it clear to people, I think, that I am, with the cards that we are dealt, I am full on in an accelerationist mode. Who cares if one of them didn't get in? Would that have made such a big difference? Honestly, like they weren't. They are all getting. They're all getting it. Kash Patel, I guess, is the next one that you could question. I think he's gonna get in. Who's gonna stop him? That's why it was so funny when fucking Connolly, the guy who the Democrats picked over AOC to lead the oversight committee, when he was like, "Hey, Elon Musk, if you want to roll in this government, why don't you get Trump to nominate you? Come before the Senate and see if you get the votes." And I'm like, of course he will. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Like, he would absolutely, he would probably even get a bunch of votes from your own Democrats. What are you talking about?
I mean, sad but true. That part sucks. But that's like this is an absolute disaster. The RFK one specifically, right? Like I don't know how much Tulsi Gabbard apparently has like a more restricted role, that they're not giving her complete like intelligence access even within her capacity as an intelligence officer. But RFK Jr., like that is a man who's genuinely in a position where, based on his madness, he could achieve real horrifying results, is kind of my understanding. Like,
well, the difference is that Tulsi Gabbard doesn't believe anything. She just wants power. Whereas RFK is a true believer in this anti-vax bullshit. He's been peddling it for a very long time. And he is in a position to do so much damage. And it's just like, when you think about a couple of years from now, what actually is U.S. health going to look like? Will he actually restrict vaccines? What can he do? Like, it's hard to think about because it's so scary. But at the same time, in the grand scheme of things, this isn't like the immediate priority, as crazy as that sounds, because then we have Elon Musk fucking around in different agencies and trying to line item veto payments to the Treasury that was already appropriated by Congress, which
he met with Modi today
of the
too.
U.S. Right. Another fascist leader that they all are very buddy with. It's just, it's so frustrating. The one thing that gave me a little bit of joy this week is that Canadians have basically been like, fuck America, and to see their solidarity has been very heartwarming.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, as someone on the ground here, I've never seen so many people, just regular everyday people, talking about like, do we have to arm ourselves? That never used to be Canada. Like, no one I know who is not like an actual like I love hunting, I love guns kind of stuff would ever talk about that. And that's people who are like school teachers. Like, do we need to arm? I was like, oh wow, the climate here is becoming like he's hyper nationalizing Canada in real time. It's been something wild to see. I don't know if your media picked up on this. Every one of our premiers, all of them for the entire country, just traveled to Washington yesterday. Like every one of them. It's like that's the equivalent of every senator in the US traveling to Canada to meet with the prime minister. Every premier in Canada went to Washington D.C. to meet with him, and apparently no American news covered it. Like it was only like the CBC.
I didn't hear about this.
That's wild. Because I was like, the only reason they would do that is hopefully because their message was stop this. Don't do this, Trump. Don't do this, America. These trade wars are going to cripple your economy as well as ours. Everyone's going to suffer. Do not talk about invading us. It's going to lead to bloodshed. Like just that was the whole point of it. And no American like news covered it. And I was like, that seems. I mean, it's kind of really sad. But yeah.
Over here, there's not a sense that this is really affecting Canadians in our media, to my understanding. I'm finding out about how pissed off Canadians are through TikTok. Because they're posting TikToks and they're saying, hey, we're boycotting. Like, I wouldn't have found out about it if I didn't go on TikTok. So I don't think our media is concerned at all with Canadians, but it is nice to see them basically be like, yeah, we're straight up not buying American products. We're canceling our vacations. Yep. And I feel like most of the world needs to take that same stance. Like, there needs to be an actual effort to punish the U.S. for what they're doing. I say that as a U.S. citizen because it's not okay. Like, you can't just threaten to annex our fucking neighbor. That's wild. I mean, and that's like not even taking into account the threat to take over Gaza. I mean, what the fuck is happening? It really feels like we're living in the Twilight Zone. Like, it's so hard to process all of this information.
Yeah. Also, inflation has gone up too, like officially.
Yeah. How's the cost of eggs? Here, that's not great.
Eggs. Well, you can't even find eggs. Like I was in New York last week. Yeah, I was in New York last week. You can't find eggs. Any like Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, any big box store, unless you go to like a bodega and they might have a couple eggs left, but you can't really.
Wait, there's a shortage or what's going on?
Like you can't find them. Period.
Oh.
I mean, it's because of the bird flu. You know what I mean? But like, what is Trump doing to address the bird flu? I haven't.
Wait, you were in New York?
Yeah, I was in New York last week.
What were you doing in New York?
I just had to like leave. Like the woke mob was really coming after me. So
you didn't even say hello while you were here.
Oh my god, I forgot you
said you wanted to get away from the woke mob.
Well, I will say though, Matt, I am moving to New York hopefully in 2 months. I just applied.
Really?
Yeah.
Breaking news.
So hopefully I will be your neighbor and we'll hang out all the time and we can eat your nasty tuna Subway sandwich.
Why'd you want to leave? Why are you coming to New York? Why'd you want to move to New York?
I've been in the Bay Area my whole life. I'm just tired. Like I need a change, you know those people that never moved from their hometowns that they went to high school with and they run into their high school buddies. And I'm like, that's me. And I'm just like, I can't do this. So I just need a change. Also, I want to be closer to Washington in case anything happens. So I can like just do a train ride up. So yeah, I will be hopefully. Yeah, I will be neighbors with you. So we'll get to hang out.
Oh, all right, cool. Sounds good.
Anyways, awesome. I just wanted to talk about inflation.
We're one step closer to doing a live Leftist Mafia. The people are the hosts are congregating together. They're flocking together.
We should honestly do a live together, like in a studio. That would be so lit.
That would be fun. I would love to.
Like Piers Morgan style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we all.
Ooh, Mike, you want to tell us what happened?
Huh? With what?
Morgan?
Oh, on Piers Morgan? Oh, how did you hear?
You told
You went on Piers Morgan?
Did I? No, well, I was invited. Oh, right. I forgot that I was invited to be on the panel.
When I asked you if you went on Piers Morgan's
No,
show,
did I tell you? I didn't remember if I told you all. That's right, I did.
I want what he's smoking.
I was supposed to be on the panel on Monday, or I was invited to be on the panel, but I did not go, and I'm so glad I didn't, because there was fucking Rabbi Shmuley on with Myron from Fresh and Fit. Honestly,
wow, that would have been intense.
I would have made history because
I would have loved to have been on with Rabbi Shmuley and
I would have blown my brains out on British TV. I would not have been able to deal with that early in the morning too. I'm so glad I didn't.
Oh my god, that would have been great. I would have loved it. That would have been perfect.
No, the thought of that, when I saw that that was the panel, I was like, oh my god, I thank you, Jesus, for making sure that you guided me against
would have been
doing
on with
this.
Actually being on with those two is the perfect spot to be in. On one side you have like a Nazi fascist, another one you have a Zionist fascist. It is the perfect position to be in. You would so easily be able to present your position as the most sane and rational one, honestly.
I wouldn't mind just talking to Pierce himself, but I don't want to talk to the other people, and they didn't give any indication of who I would be talking to. So it's like, well, what if I'm on there with Dave Rubin? I don't want to deal with Dave Rubin at 8 a.m. I don't want to do this. Why? I don't get paid for this. I don't get anything from this, but I get 2 subscribers from doing this. It just doesn't seem like something that would not even taking it outside of the benefit. It's just I don't want to do that. That sounds painful. I'm not against it entirely. I'm open to it, but they'd have to do it later than 8 a.m.
It's your time, it's your show, it's your brand. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Someone in one of our chats, but in the StreamYard chat that aggregates it all. Right before you said, that sounds like it hurts. E-Mega posted, and I was reading it as you said, that sounds like it hurts. He posted, Rabbi sells the butt plug motto called the Holy, allegedly. Because doesn't he fund his daughter who has
he has a sex toy?
Nothing wrong with that. Daughter. Nothing wrong with that.
It's weird to do that with your daughter, though.
Weird to do that with your daughter. Nothing wrong with selling that stuff. Weird to do that with your daughter. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can get human support, dildos and stuff. It's completely normal, but not with your daughter. I'm just kidding. Of course not. But these people are just weird. He gets the biggest freaks together and makes them yell at each other. And that's exhausting just watching it. But to actually have to participate in that at 8 in the morning, haven't even had my morning coffee by that point, usually.
That is very early.
Yeah. If he wants to do a pre-recorded segment where it takes place after at least noon, then I'm open. Okay, but before that, I can't do. That's too much. That's too much mentally.
Ariana, I feel like you had something open about inflation that we derailed on that you were actually gonna talk about seriously.
No, I was just going to talk about how in January inflation actually went up by about, I believe it was 3%. Gas obviously was the highest, but food, poultry, almost everything has gone up. And I don't feel like Donald Trump has even addressed it, which I think is very interesting because a lot of his voters voted with this conception that he was going to bring the prices down, but we're not seeing that. So not only that, but one of the most, what is supposed to be the cheapest, has a long shelf life, should be accessible. Everyone can eat it unless you have an allergy, is eggs, right? And people can't even find eggs. So I just wanted to bring up
that. Is that because of bird flu?
It's a lot of issues, but it is because of bird flu, but also we're not even a part of the World Health Center, whatever. We don't.
Yeah, y'all left the WHO.
Yeah, we left.
Donald Trump's eating all the eggs. That's why there's an egg shortage.
He wants the eggs for himself.
He can't get enough of the eggs.
No, but it's we're also getting tuberculosis, if that's how you call it, outbreaks and multiple
measles
states.
Outbreaks too. I saw are starting to crop back up, which is really horrifying because that affects everyone, even the vaccinated. So that's not good.
I mean,
not a good time to have RFK.
It's so bad because tuberculosis is also yes, we're all supposed to be vaccinated for it, but it's a respiratory, it's a respiratory disease. When my boyfriend has a patient that has tuberculosis, he has to put on the whole entire hazmat suit. even to be in the
Really?
same room. Yes, because like a regular mask is not, it doesn't work. It's one of those things where it's like you're in the same room, you're fucked. So and we're not even reporting those. There aren't really any news media that is covering it because there aren't official reports of it coming out, because the departments aren't working the way that they should. So, I mean, I don't know if something like COVID happens again, like we are truly fucked. It's not even a question of like,
well, right now there's already a record flu season. It's apparently the worst in like 26 years in the United States. And they're saying that that also has a lot to do with the very low rates of vaccination for flu, which is, I guess, something that people don't do anymore or don't want to do in the US. I'm assuming.
I think when like it's gonna be 5 years ago when like COVID started, or at least when COVID hit the US. I think like when it happened, we like did not sort of take it all in terms of like, oh, I remember there was a lot of like comparison to like when like, what was it, like the Spanish flu in like the early 1900s was the pandemic. I think we were just like not looking at what happened after as much as we should have. Like I think it all might come together as a package every time. I mean, I think you get the pandemic, people respond to that pandemic. Some people respond to that pandemic differently than others. Yada yada yada. Fascism. I think it just might come that we did not sort of understand that.
Well, it seems like everything that's taking place right now, it's part of the playbook of trying to basically consolidate power, get rid of anyone who might be in opposition to you, get rid of every fucking federal agency, start immediately doing massive cuts to programs like social programs, Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP, and then doing that internationally with like USAID, and then consistently like gaslighting everyone globally in that it's like, we're doing this because we want to stop expensive CIA propaganda funding or stuff like that. But that's like just not the reality of the world, right? Like the USAID one is especially cruel because like you can look at tons of programs internationally where people literally are just gonna, like, you're gonna have starving children in Sudan. You're gonna have people in Uganda who can't get malaria pills. You're gonna have refugee camps that will no longer have food. It's gonna have like unbelievably disastrous effects. And
right, but they don't care. They don't really like saying that stuff doesn't mean anything to the right.
No, of course
not. They don't care about that. Like that to them is not a problem. Like it has to hit people in the U.S. Like it has to affect people, and not even just people in the United States. It has to affect explicitly U.S. citizens. For
the eggs,
it to mean something, right? I'm not saying the other stuff doesn't matter. Obviously, I'm just saying like when you say like, oh, but what about the kids starving in this country?
Right.
They will just say, what about them? Let that country take care of it. I don't fucking care. Like that's literally like
they genuinely don't care.
Yeah, like yeah.
Their answer, unironically, is "fuck them kids." Like people joke about me being cold, but like that's how Americans literally will not care about anything unless it affects them personally. And they don't turn on Trump unless one of his policies actually hurts them. We've seen this so many times now, and it's just exhausting because there's no way to actually have this mass awakening or to get people to be more class conscious because they have to basically get fucked over by the system, and then they'll start to question the system. And like they're already getting fucked over in so many ways, but they have to like directly, like they have to vote for Trump, and then they have to know that he specifically did something that fucked them over in order for them to even be cognizant of the reality of like what they did.
And even
it's just
then and even then there's a cohort of them that still won't blame him.
Yeah.
It's just like they're that deep,
Yeah, it's an American problem. It's ingrained in our culture. We're taught from a very young age that selfishness is a virtue and that capitalism is not just like good, but it's the only system in existence that we should ever even consider. We're just taught to be like assholes, and we are. It's so frustrating. We're a very fucked up country, and I don't blame anyone else in the world for thinking that we're terrible people because we are. Not all of us, but most of us. There is a portion of us that are still good, but the overwhelming majority of Americans are just shitty people, don't give a fuck about anyone, they're selfish, and the stereotypes are true. I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to say?
I didn't know until Trump came to power that like wokeness was keeping the planes in the sky, though. That's been
Right.
astonishing to learn.
Right.
You know, that now that the wokeness is gone, all the planes just barrel into
Well, we had
ocean.
we had a gay guy in front of transportation, and we had a black man in front of black man in charge of the army, right? So I mean, you take the DEI and the gays out of the equation, and you got
planes fall from the sky.
Your airliners and your military planes crashing into each other, falling out of the sky. Just what happens. This country was literally held together by woke, and they took the woke away.
You're joking, but it's partially true. That was kind of like the whole point of the Kendrick Super Bowl, message was that a lot of American history is Black history. Black people built the slaves built the White House, right? Like you can't separate all of these different classes and divide everybody and keep acting like you care about America. America as it is today is not just the white supremacist America. It's a lot of different Americas.
What's that famous quote? Like Martin walked so we could run, or something like that. Well, apparently take the next step. If you don't have a person of color in the next equation, we can't fly.
Yeah.
What has it been? Has it been like 6 plane crashes in total? We haven't had an incident like that for 16 years, I believe. And all of a sudden Trump takes office and there's 6. Like, don't quote me on the numbers, but this should alarm people. There should be like, the gears should start to turn and think, oh, okay, maybe it's not good to deregulate. Maybe it's not woke. But nobody's thinking about this. If you go on any like local Facebook page and just like find a news article where it talks about Doge or Donald Trump, Facebook is not great, like a great representation, but like they all are very enthusiastic about what's going on. So it's not just that like they voted us into this, but like they believe they're getting what they wanted. So it's frustrating.
They're complicit then. If media is not going to take this seriously, like they have a really important job right now. If you've got someone like Elon Musk, who owns his own social media platform, saying out loud, hey, by the way, $711 million from the Consumer Protection Bureau was wasted. I'm going to give it back to the people. Then you have to accurately say $20 billion was actually returned to the people. What like this bureau will actually, like it dissolving will create another financial crisis. You will have another financial collapse if it doesn't exist. Like the banks won't regulate themselves. They've been given ample opportunity to do so, and they've shown themselves to not want to.
Well, and actually, the things that they're going after. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ariane.
No, I'm so sorry. This is kind of off topic, but did you guys hear about how many Teslas the government is going to buy? Talking about
400 million
regulation or deregulation.
For $400 million worth of armored cars, apparently.
Worth of armored Teslas for the government.
And are those Cybertrucks?
I don't think so. Okay. I don't think they're Cybertrucks.
Well, at least there's some good news. It's not like 10,000 new Cybertrucks on the road.
But sorry, Mike, go on. I'm just talking about like the unregulation.
No, that's a great point. Yeah, no, it's a conflict of interest. It's so corrupt. But like the things that they're going after are so stupid. There was talk that the Trump administration wants to target the FDIC, which is insane. This agency was created during the Great Depression to restore trust in the American banking system. It's basically insurance that when we put our money in the banks, the government is ensuring that we will get it back. But they want to do away with that. It's just the guardrails are off. Like they are straight up like trying to crash the economy, wittingly or unwittingly. It's just like they're hollowing out government, and then they're gonna make off like bandits. And there's going to be a Democrat that comes along at some point that will win, and they'll take control of all 3 branches of Congress or of government. And then they're not going to do anything. And then a Republican will win after that. And we're just going to continue to spiral and spiral and spiral until we all die. Maybe in 2032, that asteroid will hit us. It's not a planet killer, but it's a 2% chance. So, maybe we'll actually live in Don't Look Up in the near future, where Americans will start rooting for the jobs that the asteroid will create and put us all out of our fucking misery. I just can't take it. That's where I'm at mentally. Yeah.
So, what's next?
Anything else? It's been a slow news week. I can't think of anything else to talk about.
Oh, really? So slow.
I mean, we can talk about Elon Musk's child being a little shit.
No.
Did you see that video of his child?
But I don't say that. Kids are kids. I do think it's interesting what the kid says based on the fact
Well,
that
the kid is
not thinking
repeating
up
what
that
his
stuff
dad
himself.
tells him.
Yeah, that kid's not thinking up that stuff himself. But the kid's innocent in it.
Nah, I don't know about all that. But no, I don't know.
I'm with Ariana. Fuck that kid. But let me
yeah,
find the video.
I don't know about all that. Like,
No.
I mean, showing your child manners is like, it's simple. Like, hey, don't be rude, be nice. You know, like it's and that kid was not.
I don't care if that kid's rude to
mannered,
Donald Trump. Good
like,
for that
whatsoever.
kid.
I
Good
just
for
think it's
little
like
X.
everything he was saying and everything he was doing was just very telling of like a child that I would expect Elon Musk to raise, basically. But like, no, I don't care. Like, that's Elon Musk's kid. Like, I said what I said. He's being a little shit.
Okay, so this is
no. I'm not a fan of Sins of the Father. Yeah, but
you have to take out their families, Matt. You have to take out their families. Okay?
No, the families. No, someone says it looks like Matt wouldn't kill baby Hitler, but this kid isn't little Musk. He's his own person. If like Hitler had kids, which he did, you can't blame the kids. I would kill baby Hitler, but not his kids. Unless his kids grew up to be little Hitlers themselves. That's different.
I mean, regardless, the kid was being a little shit, though. Like, I think that's, like, the kid was being ill-mannered. I don't think that's, like, off base to say.
Good. Be ill-mannered.
Yeah, so this is what happened when President Musk was doing his press conference and when Trump was sitting in the cuck chair. Listen to his kid. They adjusted the audio so you can hear it.
To restore democracy. This may seem like, well, aren't we in a democracy? To restore democracy.
Okay, you can't really hear it, but they said, "You're not the president. You need to go away."
He said that.
Did he say that though?
This may seem to restore
Here, let me try to slow it down. Let me slow it down.
Oh, so he's a hero. He's a class traitor.
To restore democracy.
You're not the you need not the president. You need to go
I
away.
heard no one threatens me to go away. That's what I heard.
Democracy.
And if you play it backwards, he's actually saying a satanic chant.
Right. No, this one I can't really tell. But what's more telling to me is there's a clip where it's crystal clear what he's saying from a few months ago that somehow only is gaining traction now that I'm seeing. Have you seen this one where
I saw that one?
The Tucker Carlson one is way more revealing. This one I can't really tell what the kid is saying, so it's hard to. But the
I
Tucker
have that
Carlson
one if you want to see it.
Is very revealing. Yes.
Yeah, the kid basically admits that they stole the election and we should have done a January 6th on January 6th. Let me pull it in.
I mean, listen, that's not what he says, but he says something that's I play the clip.
More or less. I think that kids are like sponges. They're absorbing everything, and it's clear that Elon Musk is telling him some crazy shit.
I'll never forget. A couple of years ago, I was in a boat with my kids, like a little boat where you a rowboat. It was like a summer vacation thing we were doing. And I went to get up to help them out, and I forgot I put my phone on my lap. So my phone went flying off my lap into the lake we were in, or the river, whatever it was, like the little lake we were in, and so the phone was gone. And so I immediately got out of the boat, and I was like, and I started going, shit. And my daughter, who was, I think she was 2 years old at the time, she immediately comes right behind me, and I'm like walking while saying this. I'm like, shit. And she immediately is walking behind me going, shit. And she has no idea why she's saying shit. She's never said it before in her life, but she saw me doing that, and she felt like it was the appropriate thing to do, so she was copying me. This is what this kid heard, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Well, you have. Yeah,
if we're in SpaceX and quietly just do whatever we want.
What's your assessment? Did this work? Is he going to win?
Yeah, it is. Not for now. No.
I think it's done.
You think it's done?
Yeah.
But not for now.
No.
I'm looking at the data as it comes in from every county in Pennsylvania. We help President Trump.
Yeah.
Well, you have. Yeah.
Florence SpaceX and quietly just.
Oh, okay, so it's looping, and then you have the clip of Donald Trump
that's
saying
that
Elon
first
Musk
line
knows
is-
about the machines in Pennsylvania.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think
mean,
it's. I don't think it's that.
This
I
all
don't
feels
think it's
kind of
that.
blue and ani though. It
No,
could,
no,
you
I
know,
don't
Let's
know.
dive
That's
in,
not what I
baby.
think.
Go down the rabbit hole.
No,
the
that's not what I
testimony
think.
of a child is not admissible, right?
No,
And
it's
if you're
not-
saying
no,
the
but
kid
that
is just parroting what he says, it's like you wouldn't take the testimony of a
No.
parrot either, right?
No,
Like,
I absolutely, but I don't think he's saying what Mike is stupidly saying.
He
I
absolutely
think-
is. There's no other
I
interpretation.
think the first line he's saying is crystal clear. 'Cause that's what we're seeing now. Play the first line the kid says again.
Oh, I already pulled up a different video. I'm gone from that.
Oh,
But he
Well,
said
I
we
forgot.
quietly do what we want.
right. I think
Yeah.
he heard his dad say something like, Trump
Yeah.
wins and we sit back and quietly get away with whatever we want. And he's mentioning in the context of SpaceX. SpaceX is going to be, of all of Musk's companies, SpaceX is the one that's going to make out like a bandit, even more so than Tesla with Musk's position. He heard his dad say something like, Trump wins and we could just do whatever the fuck we want. And that's what he's repeating.
Yeah, and then
I don't
there's
think
this
that's a
too.
conspiratorial thing. That's exactly that's 100%.
well, it is in that like you're inferring that is actually based in reality, based on what the kid said at that moment.
Oh no,
right?
it's
Like, you could've
reality.
said
I
it-
don't need the kid to. I don't need the kid to tell me that. That's 100% what's happening. The kid is just sharing what he heard, that version of events from his dad.
Mm-hmm. So this is Elon Musk's kid telling Donald Trump to shut the fuck up. Here we go.
Prices from one year to the next are the same, and they're
Look at
Good for him. Good for him.
I'm gonna play it
What
again.
is this timeline?
from one year to the next are the same, and they're
He like really enunciated when Trump looked in the eyes when he said mouth, like shut the fuck up. So you know that Elon is watching the TV and he's like, oh, just shut the fuck up. Because like that's what kids do. They parrot what their parents say. So my
Maybe
theory.
it was Trump telepathically speaking through Elon's son.
maybe.
Because it was Musk who was talking. I think the kid was really talking about his own dad.
I just like to point out that there was another part where he was like fully picking his nose for 30 seconds.
Who
Right.
cares?
I wish he would have wiped it on the
no.
oval, like on the
Yeah.
desk. What is it called? There's a
I don't
name for
care
the
about
desk.
that.
I can't remember. I wish that he would have dug a big ass booger and stuck it right on Donald Trump's pants. That would have been based as fuck. He would have been
I
my
just,
new
I just
favorite
feel
Elon
like the
Musk
White
child.
House should have decorum. You know what I mean? Like, let me just put it this way: if this was a woman bringing her child to the Oval Office and her child was acting this way, there's no way. Like, there would have been
The
people
stories would
talking
be
about
nonstop.
exactly. There would have been stories about how terrible of a mother this is, how like,
Yep.
oh my God, why
Yeah, that's
wasn't she
true.
at home taking it? But since it's Elon Musk and it's Elon Musk's kid, they can get away with everything. Like the kid had no decorum. It was funny watching him, go. There were other
Yeah,
clips
but that's
where
not.
he was,
I agree with you. I think that's on Elon. That's
Yeah.
all on Elon, right? It's a kid.
Yeah.
for
Like,
sure.
kid's gonna be a kid. It's gonna do kid stuff. So
Yeah.
that's all. That's all Elon's
Yeah,
fault for
no
constantly
decorum.
using his own child as some kind of a shield from criticism.
How funny
Where
would
is
it
your
have been?
decorum, little X? How dare you?
How
Little
funny would it have
Twitter
been if
boo-boo.
when Elon Musk lifted him up and put him over his shoulders, the kid shit his pants loudly right then and there. Oh,
no,
I
oh
would
my God,
pay
when he was
to see
on
that.
when he was on Elon's shoulder, he started like looking over at Trump. There's actually clips of it, and he was like, shh, shh, like multiple times. I don't know if you guys saw that clip, but he was like on top of Elon, and he's just like, shh, shh.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Trump getting
Honestly.
cucked by a 4-year-old. Love to see it. I have to say though, Vivian is still my favorite Elon Musk child. I think that she should be president, not
Role would be in a better place.
X. Yeah, I don't want little X or whatever the fuck his name is to be the successor. It has to be Vivian. She's the best. She's based.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Did you see that Grimes was tweeting how she had no idea the kid was even in that moment, and that he shouldn't have been there, and he's told.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I don't feel
She
bad.
found that
for
out
her.
in a tweet.
I don't feel bad for her whatsoever, but the whole situation is pretty messed up.
It is,
and the kid is going to be the one who pays, honestly.
Although he'll be okay.
The kid will be fine. The kid.
Yeah. No, I mean, but the problem,
it.
we're gonna be the one who pays based on
Yeah.
what that kid will grow up to be. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
He's
Like,
gonna be a tyrant because
same
that's
with
who's raising
Baron,
him.
Same with all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, we all saw Cersei. She raised what's that kid? God, it's been too fucking long. Not Cersei. Is it Cersei? No. Who raised
She's
God,
the mother of dragons.
it starts with a J. What is his name?
Joffrey?
Joffrey, yes.
Oh,
she
sorry,
raised
no,
Joffrey.
I got the names wrong. I was thinking Daenerys. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It has been a while.
Well, then I was questioning it. Yeah, I'm like, wait, was it Daenerys or Cersei? Yeah, so I mean,
No,
Cersei was a terrible person. She raised Joffrey, and I feel like this could be a Joffrey. Like, honestly, this kid could be the next Hitler. We have no idea. No way to confirm nor deny that. He just admitted to rigging the election. I feel like we should get our tinfoil hats on and actually look into this. Maybe form our own QAnon. I mean, what else is there to do? It'll at least distract us.
Yeah, it's wild. The U.S. is for sale right now. It's just how it feels. Or it's just being gutted. It really feels like it's being carved out for the remaining wealth to be effectively concentrated. That's just on a daily basis.
Yeah. I feel like we're all going Joker mode. Like every American knows how bad it is going full Joker. Because how could you not? It's just it's so it's hard to process everything that's happening because every single day there's just some more bullshit. I mean, I guess the silver lining this week is that Trump kind of signaled that they are appealing court decisions and they're not going to completely ignore the court, even though they still are. So, I mean, I guess that there's a little bit of a facade that he's not going to go full tyrant, at least yet. So, I mean, glass half full, but it's just, we don't, like, they're only beginning now. So the big thing that Republicans did was they proposed the budget and they want to increase the debt ceiling by 4.5 trillion. This is for tax cuts for the rich. And the things that they laid out are going to be so disastrous. Cuts to Medicaid, 20% cut to SNAP. And then there is Elon Musk proposing, he's not proposing it, but he's already laying the groundwork for Social Security to get cut, saying that there's fraud. This is what Republicans say all the time. It's less than 1% fraud. This is a life-saving program. If they honestly go after Social Security, if they start cutting Medicaid and poor people lose their insurance, if people go hungry, that's when shit is going to hit the fan. Like, the bread and circus isn't going to last when people actually lose it all. And I don't think that they realize that they are straight up fomenting an actual, like, nationwide protest if they actually do this to people.
I saw Elon made a post recently about, it was like a PragerU, one of those super racist accounts, Rothmus or something like that, saying that like welfare destroyed the black family in America. You can see that every year post like 1971, as more welfare was introduced, more fatherless black families were basically in existence and all this other shit. And I was like, you know, very normal for him to be pushing fucking extreme far right, the shit you'd see on Stormfront kind of conspiracy theories. But like, he's taking an enormous amount of welfare right now. And he's like, what, being paid something close to like $8 million a day just in the amount of government grants he gets. And so while on one end he's doing that, he's trying to like force feed this misinformation to the American public, where like that one is so easily debunkable. Like one big problem for the you know, black families in America, 1 in 3 black men are going to be incarcerated in their lifetime. A lot of that you can point towards, you know, the war on drugs. A lot of that you can point towards the over incarceration 1994 crime bill. Doesn't matter if it was Clinton, Reagan, Nixon. Like, you go through all of that shit, but like all they see is that little poster, that little PragerU thing has like 200,000 likes by, you know, Elon Musk, and then everyone starts to believe that shit and goes down that fucking, you know, like, you're totally right, Mike, and it scares the fuck out of me just thinking that like if they cut those programs effectively, what, the Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP, things that people need to live, I mean, now's the time when we got to start really raising the alarm. You know where a lot of money is wasted? The fucking Pentagon. You know, y'all spend what, $1 trillion nearly every year on your military budget. They failed the last 7 audits in a row that's trillions of dollars unaccounted for. There's wasteful government spending with no accountability. There's, easily hundreds of billions of dollars you could put every year into roads, schools, houses, like anything other than bombs,
Yeah, it's always a majority of our discretionary spending. We spend more than the next, I think, 10 nations combined on the military. That's all we care about. And Republicans will use this talking point that, yeah, well, when you look at our overall budget, we spend the most on these entitlements, Social Security, Medicare. But that's not like we're paying into that money. You're holding it for us and then we get it back. That's the entire point. You don't get to dip into that or tell us that we can't claim that money sooner, that you raise the retirement age. Like, fuck you, that's our money. But they want to. Like, they've been wanting to privatize Social Security forever. Bush tried to, but there was so much backlash, he had to stop. Obama was going to cut Social Security by raising the retirement age, but thankfully, Bernie Sanders raised a shitstorm about that, and the Tea Party didn't want it because he wasn't offering to cut it enough, so thankfully they undermined themselves. But there is going to be hell to pay if he does choose to do that. Medicare, as far as I know, like that could be something down the pipeline, but Medicaid is the biggest risk right now. And if they cut it to the extent that they want to, I mean, people are going to die. Like, that's not hyperbolic. Like, so many people will lose their health insurance. And I don't think that people have truly like grappled with like what is to come and how bad it's going to get. I mean, you thought that the cost of living was hard. Of course it is. But like, add in now the fact that you are losing your health insurance, or your parent or grandparent doesn't have Social Security and now they have to move in with you because they can't afford to live on their own. Things are going to get fucking bad. So I don't know when this is all going to unfold, but I mean, there's a showdown coming up to fund the government in I believe like sometime in March.
Yeah, but didn't the Democrats say they're not going to fight? Haven't they already like thrown in the?
They did say that. Yeah. Yes, Chuck Schumer said he's willing to come up with a bipartisan solution. So,
oh my god,
we are so cooked.
I think the only hope that we may kind of have is that I'm kind of noticing that he's trying to throw as much shit as he can at the wall and see what sticks. Like, for example, he was like, we're freezing all kinds of government grants, period. And then that caused so much chaos that he kind of ruled it back. I feel like maybe if something like that happens again and people cause a lot of chaos, he'll like roll it back to some extent. But yeah, I don't know. Also, not that this really matters, but I thought more white families were on welfare and SNAP than black families statistically.
Well, there's just more white families in general, so it would make sense.
Yeah.
It's going to disproportionately affect a lot of white families.
Yeah, I know people on SNAP that will be so fucked over without it.
I mean, I don't know. I hate to say it, but I think a lot of people were ignorant when Trump ran, and they just kind of thought he was going to fix inflation because there's statistically a lot of people who are also lower income or live paycheck to paycheck, and they voted for him with the hope that he was going to help with inflation. And not only are they going to get screwed over, but not only are they like the inflation isn't getting better, but they're also going to get their SNAP taken away, etc. I mean, I was literally like, my mom is on every single government assistance program that you can imagine because she has like very late stage cancer. And she was like, I was like, Mom, she's not really fully getting like the threats of Trump. Also, she's kind of an immigrant and she doesn't really fully follow news. Not that I'm making excuses for her, but she just doesn't really get it. And I was like, Mom, she's going to cut your SNAP. Like, he's going to cut X, Y, and Z. And she was like, oh, no, not for me. Not for people like me. Because I've been a citizen for X amount of years. Like, I used to work. I used to pay taxes. Not for people like me. And it's like, there's this notion that it's like, it's not going to impact you. But it's like, he doesn't care. He's going to cut it for all of you. Period. Like, you know, and there's also this misconception that a lot of undocumented immigrants are taking advantage of our programs. Undocumented immigrants do not have access to SNAP and other Social Security. They pay into it by millions and millions every year. They don't have access to it. The immigrants that do have access to it were the Ukrainian immigrants that we created a passageway. We actually created a way for them to become documented within a year. We gave them our insurance. We gave them our SNAP. We gave them Medicaid. We gave them welfare. We gave them everything that Americans get. the Ukrainian refugees got. So there's like this misconception of everything. Like people aren't really following the news and they're just like coming up with their own shit. You know what I mean? It's really annoying.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Trump just signed an executive order to make it easier for South Africans of European descent to migrate to the United States due to the ongoing genocide of formerly apartheid South Africa. And I wonder who told him to do that.
The PayPal mafia.
Yeah. Yeah. So
all of them, right? Like
I'm gonna start singing "Killed the Boy."
This was never about all immigration. It was about non-white immigration. Legal, illegal. Like they tried to draw these lines to make it seem as if they were being reasonable and they weren't being racist. But now, I mean, the jig is up. They don't really care. It's just like, yeah, we just want more white people in this country. We want a white ethno state. The mask is off. They just don't want people who are marginalized to be here. People of color. It's as open as you could possibly be. I mean, he literally, on his first week, signed an executive order to undo a civil rights era anti-discrimination executive order by LBJ from the fucking civil rights era. How do you do that? How do you do that unless you're extremely racist?
Well, did you see? Did you see the? Yeah, you just mentioned. Yeah, go ahead. I was gonna continue. What's next?
Well, I was gonna add to that. Like, Mike, the first like major tragedy that happened under Trump was that massive plane crash, and they blamed that on black people.
Yeah,
there was no black people involved in this tragedy. This was a white pilot crashing into another white pilot and killing a bunch of people.
Yeah, just like they blamed the bridge when the bridge collapsed because the boat ran into it. They blamed it on the fact that they had a black mayor. They just everything that black people are consistently fucked over more than any other demographic in this country, and they get blamed for everything, and it's so fucking ridiculous. Like it's so cruel. Every single thing that happens, down from like economic downturns to COVID, black people suffer the most, and they are always the first to be scapegoated. It is fucking disgusting.
I'm reading about the this National Park Service website thing right now. Did you guys saw this, right?
What is it in particular?
Oh no, they removed so on the National Park Service website they have a page on Stonewall, and they changed the LGBTQ references to just mention LGBT people.
On the Stonewall one?
Yeah, literally removing transgender people from the history of what
erasing straight up LGBT history. Like
Stonewall. The super fucked up thing they did is they went after the agency that's basically in charge of protecting children and preventing child trafficking, and they threatened to take their funding away unless they would remove protections for LGBTQ plus kids, specifically trans kids. And the agency had to, because they were like, we either lose our funding and can't protect any kids. Effectively, this would just be an absolute gift to pedophiles, or we just have to, unfortunately, sacrifice the group that they wanted us to do. And we're going to do that in order to keep getting funding, which is like, again, Nazi shit. Like, this is just straight up Nazi shit that you're going down the road. Like, disgusting.
Yeah. The Stonewall thing in particular is like really salt in the wound, because without trans women of color, we would not have any rights. Marsha P. Johnson, a black trans woman, she is the one who started Stonewall. Same with Sylvia Rivera. She was a Latina trans woman, and Marsha P. Johnson was basically like her godmother, I think she called her. So to erase them is to just straight up erase LGBTQ history. And yeah, it's sick.
It's why I think they're doing the same thing that it's like everything's out of the fascist playbook. You start targeting the vulnerable groups that you think aren't going to have a lot of pushback for, undocumented immigrants, right? Like I even saw people online saying that, like, well, the people getting arrested, they're all criminals. And it's like, no, half of them apparently don't have any criminal charges. That's not changing the fact that there's people without criminal charges now apparently en route to be able to, like, they're going to start sending them to El Salvador or Guantanamo Bay. Like, that shit is fucked. And then you're obviously going after, again, LGBTQ plus people, starting with trans people, but like, I mean, to all the log cabin Republicans, they're going to be coming after you next. There is no off switch on this stuff. You know, it's just
Yeah.
like 100%. That's why, like, it's really important that we should also celebrate like the sanctuary cities that are popping up. Shout out to Massachusetts, just started the latest one, I think, as of today. I forget how to pronounce it, Waytoon, or I forget how to pronounce it, but apparently it's where Sam Cedar's from. That district just established themselves as a sanctuary city. Bunch of places in New York have done it. Places in Seattle have done it. There's a lot of places that you can start to look into traveling to if you need to. Worcester, thank you. If you need to travel to Worcester, yeah. Well, it looks like it's pronounced Worcester, but it's Worcester.
I think we talked about this before. I fucked it up.
We did, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, fucking great for them. Let's see more of that. Let's get more solidarity. There's way more people out there that love you than there is straight up like Nazis that hate you. And I think more people need to be reminded of that.
Yeah, you don't have to suffer alone. There are good people out there. Maybe not most of them, but there's enough to make us feel not as alone. On that note, with regard to immigration, I don't know if you all saw, but Tom Homan is like threatening AOC on Twitter because she's trying to inform immigrants of their rights.
They're so stupid because she's completely in the right. There's nothing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. These guys are morons.
Yeah. What people don't know, what Americans don't know, is that if you are in the United States, if you are within our jurisdiction, you are entitled to constitutional rights. So that means you need to know your rights if you're an immigrant. So whenever they start threatening to basically arrest or prosecute Democrats who are informing people of their rights, I think it's a good reminder that we need to tell people, again, you have the right to remain silent. If they try to make you sign something, you have the right to refuse, and you should. You have the right to ask them for a warrant if they try to search you. And as Ariana pointed out, if you are in a town and you see ICE show up, yell "Amiga" as loud as you can. I think that's such a great idea to make sure that people know, there's the Gestapo is here. And we need to call them the Gestapo as well, the Trump's Gestapo, because that's what the fuck they are.
I will say, though, if you are an undocumented immigrant, be careful if you're up to 100. Like, there's this law that they passed, the Supreme Court passed, where it's like, I do not quote me on this, I don't remember exactly what it was, but 100 miles close to the coast, they get the immigration agents get more rights to like interrogate and stuff. I don't remember exactly. So places like New York, Florida, even California. So I would just be careful. Maybe just don't hang out super close to the coast. But I don't know if you guys saw this. The Intercept actually came out with a article, and apparently ICE is searching for a third-party company to start surveilling people who talk shit about ICE online. So that's gonna become a thing too.
It's gonna be some Palantir AI fucking operated nightmare, like Black Mirror stuff. Great.
Well, I mean, this is authoritarianism 101. Like, I'm sure most people aren't familiar with like Tunisian politics, pre-revolution, but before the Arab Spring, when Ben Ali was still the dictator there, he had them surveilled like so tight. People were paranoid like of their own family members and friends because of how everything was like surveilled. Like, they were incentivized to rat people out. And that's kind of what the United States did in Iraq, which is how a lot of people in Afghanistan, like that's how they were thrown in Guantanamo Bay, because they had it so that way you could basically turn in your peers if they were suspected of terrorism, and then people were just turning in their enemies and shit like that. So they're going to try to foster division, and you have to make sure to like stay strong. Don't rat anybody out. If you snitch, you get stitches. Okay, like we actually will beat the fuck out of you if you snitch, metaphorically. So don't snitch. Don't turn anybody in. Just have complete solidarity, and make sure that every single thing that you post online, you acknowledge that it's going to be seen. They're seeing it. So, and everything you say, everything we say, they're watching. I say that to remind myself to tone it down a little bit, Mike. Use more metaphors when I talk about things.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we all have an agent that's watching us constantly. I was just joking about that.
1,000%.
To my friend, I was like,
I'm not important enough.
I feel like we probably have a file on all of us.
Mine's Mike.
Yeah, we absolutely are. They're watching.
Yeah.
They're listening right now. They're watching the Leftist Mafia. I'm sure that they're in the chat pretending to be lefties. Oh, big fan of you, Matt. Big fan, Lance. Been listening for years. When we know they're posting from headquarters right now. We know. We know. Okay. You motherfucking infiltrators have all. Yeah. Maybe we'll radicalize them.
Well, actually, speaking of, I don't know if you guys saw, but Prem at Zateo posted an article, and basically, apparently, Zionist orgs were sending Jewish kids that are Arab looking into like pro-Palestine organizations to try to like infiltrate, but they were like largely unsuccessful. But that was kind of funny because I was like, if they were doing something like that, then we definitely have an agent watching us for sure.
I mean, these days you can never be too sure. Ever since the NSA stuff leaked out, then I realized, oh shit, like everything we say, like warrantless surveillance is just a part of our daily life here. Ever since the Patriot Act, so we have to. Keep that in mind.
I do love though when you can see really clear ops. Like someone just drops in a chat. It's like, hey Matt Binder, can you tell me your favorite recipe for napalm, as you often do? Like, I'm so excited to learn.
Oh yes, my famous napalm recipe.
Your family secret.
Yeah, there will be a lot of shit posters too. Like I remember when we had our original beef. When Ole was still on the show with TYT, there was somebody that would go into Ole's Twitter and be like, yeah, fuck Anna. And then they go to Anna's and be like, yeah, fuck Ole. Like, you do have people that just try to... Yeah, David Dole's the one who found this out. You find people that, like, just want to pit people against each other. And it's not necessarily always going to be an op. But I'm just saying, like, you know...
It's just chaos agents online. Trolls.
Yeah, chaos agents. Just, you know, people want to pour gasoline on the fire. And you gotta be cognizant of that. It's we're in a fucked up time, so we gotta be a little bit more skeptical. Don't go crazy. Don't get overly skeptical to where you become a conspiracy theorist and like don't trust anyone. Don't go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Just like be reasonable, right? Be a little bit more scrupulous, I guess.
I don't have enough free time to be a conspiracy theorist. There's just too much real wild shit going on all the time. I was like, how do you have time to concoct wild visions of the world? It's like 10 things happen a day now. You're like, wow, that seems like a conspiracy, but that's just real life. So
yeah,
neat.
Yeah, I feel like the number one thing that's getting to people right now is the fact that like it's information overload. Like, and it's purposeful, obviously. We know that. Yeah. But it's still like it's just all the time, and even what you're being fed in terms of like even what's being reported and put out there is sometimes not even the stuff you need to know, or the most important stuff. For example, like you know, it's like a purposeful. What was the Bannon strategy to flood the zone with shit?
Flood the zone.
That's what's going on,
and it's working.
So you're saying we should talk about Kid Rock and Lauren Boebert's affair because we've missed out.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm too
ugliest
Gen Z because I didn't know who Kid Rock was. I was like, who is?
You didn't know who Kid Rock was? Wow.
Good for you. That's gonna offend Matt Binder.
No, good for. He had his moment in like what was it like 98 or 99 with.
Around there.
With the bang, the bang. And that was it. That was a big
the tail end of new metal, essentially. No,
you know what?
The shittier new metal artists.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Lauren Boebert is living her single best life right now. Her husband was a little scary, I'm not gonna lie.
He was a pedo, wasn't he?
And well, he did like to pee in front of children, so
he liked to expose himself to underage.
Yeah. So. Not only that, but they were together since she was like very young, and she got pregnant at very young. So I feel like she never really was able to. I don't know. I feel like she never got to explore, you know, the other side of the single life, you know. And I feel like now, you know, titties out.
Ariana's basically saying, "You go, girl."
No. Fuck that bitch. Listen, fuck that bitch at the end of the day. But like, you know,
you get that Kid Rock ass, girl.
Yeah. I feel like Kid Rock looks like he smells like pee. Like I don't know. He just does not. You know,
he looks so disgusting.
If she wasn't like an active hate hate monger. I would have, and it was just like, your own personal life. Who gives a fuck? Go enjoy yourself. But the fact that you're like, both this queer phobe who's also talking about how everyone's like a groomer if they're gay, and then you're like jerking off your date in a Beetlejuice theater while vape nationing all over the place. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Remember
I just
when
want to know
they
who
went to
found
like
them.
Remember when they went to like a community theater show, and she and the guy she was dating like were feeling each other up in the audience.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
It was Beetlejuice. They went to go see. They went to go see Beetlejuice the musical.
I forgot what it was.
And apparently she was just dropping fat like tugs and big rips of Vape Nation, and then everyone around her was complaining, and then like the security camera showed that she was like, they were fondling each other. And it's like, it's the same people who spend all day being like, you're a degenerate, you live in sin, oh, the sodomites are going to hell and all this shit. And then meanwhile you do this in your spare time. Like, goddamn.
I mean, you remember what happened to that one freshman Republican? Man, what was his name? Crawford? No.
I was gonna say the CPAC guy got exposed as being like a sexual assaulter of men again for like the second or third time.
Oh, I remember you were talking about the young guy who was
the young guy.
Right.
Yes, the one in the wheelchair.
Oh yeah, I remember that scandal. He said in an interview that like they all do coke and have gay orgies or something.
Yeah,
and then got mad at him
the
for
next term he was not there.
Yeah,
he got booted out by someone that has the personality.
There was a video of
box.
his that leaked somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, with his cousin.
Was that his cousin?
Well, they said it was his cousin. I don't know. But also the story of his wife was like also a little weird too, because I don't quote me on this, but I feel like something about him going to Russia and then like marrying this like Russian girl and then ended up getting a divorce from her 6 months later, but she's in America and she got papers. And I'm like, I feel like this would have been big news if it was a Republican Democrat, you know what I mean? But anyways, there's basically a bootleg version of him is now in Congress, and he is trying to get Ilhan Omar deported. So that's great. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I saw that, yeah.
I saw that.
One problem is that Ilhan Omar is a citizen, so unfortunately it's not happening.
I think they graduated from the whole she married her brother to like we're just gonna get her deported. You know what I mean? Because for a couple of years
Mask
it was
off.
She married.
I mean,
her
mask
brother.
was already off, but mask even more off. Taking off
mask off, hood
mask
on.
was off. Now they're removing the skin underneath.
Yeah, mask off, hood on. That's so true.
Yeah. Well, aside from that, they're just cruel. Did you see? I don't remember which Republican did this, but they introduced Sarah McBride by completely misgendering her, referring to her as the gentleman.
Oh, and
like
using slurs too, right? It wasn't like Nancy Mace dropped.
That was Nancy Mace.
Yeah.
Yeah, she dropped the T slur 3 times in a row. It just these people are so fucking cruel and despicable.
Hoods
like
on.
they're the school bullies from 4th grade that got power. And there's no merit to it. They got elected just for being assholes. Their constituents wanted that. And they're just stupid and evil. Like these are the worst people in the world. Like we're supposed to share a country with these people, with Lauren Boebert, who calls queer people groomers and then jerks off her date watching Beetlejuice. Like fuck you. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like this is like that's a fucking baboon. Like what are we doing? Why is she in our Congress?
She had an affair with Zangief. Zangief was a communist. When you beat Street Fighter 2 at the end of the game, you dance, and you do the communist dance and all that stuff. Like, yeah, she had an affair with Zangief. It's a real thing.
Oh God, we're
None
just
of
so
them live by
cooked as
their
a
Christian
country.
values. Yeah.
No, I'm more of a Christian than they are. Like fuck, I don't even believe in it. I feel like I'm much more of a practicing Christian than them. They'll say, "Oh, Mike, well, because you can't be a Christian because you're gay." Well, if you read it carefully, it says that man shall not lie with man unless they're stoned. So, if you're high, it's fine. Loophole. So, take
loophole.
That, Christians. Yeah. Gotcha, Christians. And also, Jesus was gay and trans. So,
I believe it.
It's true. Should we get the super chats early? I don't know if you all are feeling tired, but I'm feeling like my brain is pudding.
It's been a
What
long
time do we
week.
usually do super chats?
Usually
on?
at, like-
Usually we do it. We do another. Let's quit. Let's touch one more thing, baby. Just let's start super
Sure.
chats 10:15.
Do we usually do it at 10:30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do we have any video? Another clip to watch or something?
Oh, maybe the Super Bowl clip.
No.
We
can we
get
play
very
that?
copyright striked.
Yeah, definitely not Super Bowl clip.
Although
I'm
I did
talking about the guy with
are you
the
talking about the hero?
Palestine flag.
Yeah,
if you mean like,
have you seen
great.
have you watched the interviews with him? He is awesome.
Yeah,
Like
he's really
no
cool.
matter what the journalists
I like
were
him.
asking him, he
He's
had
good,
great
yeah.
answers for everything, you know. And I was just like, holy
Yeah.
shit! Like for someone who
person.
I don't, maybe he's got media training, I don't know, but for someone who I assume doesn't have media training, it was just like, that is a solid response. That is more eloquent than I would be if I was asked why I did something brave like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would be copyright, but I feel like that would be.
We should be able to, as long as it's not like from an official feed.
Yeah, that should be okay. I won't put on any audio as well. I don't know if I could find it though.
I think Drop Site News just had an interview with him. Al Jazeera also had an interview with him for sources.
Here we go. I found it. And this is his Instagram too, if you want to follow him.
Oh, cool. I will actually.
That's amazing.
He also grew to like 100,000 followers last time I checked. People
Did he
are
really? Good for
supporting
him.
Yeah, people are really supporting him.
Yeah, Sudan, Gaza. Here's the picture of it right here.
103,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
They like dragged him away.
I remember reading that they were looking with what to charge him with because he didn't like break in. He was a performer at the event. Like he was part of the dance squads that they brought in. So like they can't even they're trying to figure out what they can charge him with.
Yeah, they let him go. They couldn't charge him with anything.
Good.
Right.
But his interviews are also really good too.
Did we watch one of them? One of them I remember seeing a clip of, and it was really good.
You said it was on Drop Site.
I'd say go to the Al Jazeera one because that one's only like 4 minutes, and you can tell that like I was surprised for Al Jazeera of all outlets was trying to kind of find. I think just because it's a reporter and you want to get an angle, right? They were trying to basically ask him, like, you know, was Kendrick putting you up to this? Was this something that you had planned before? But his answers were all just. He was also asking him like, are you Palestinian? Are you from Sudan? Is that why you did this? And he's like, I did this because I'm a human, and like I wanted to stand up for other humans, you know, and like I didn't want to face my God and have to, you know, say I didn't say or do anything.
Tell us a bit more about why you decided to do this.
Alhamdulillah. Well, I felt I didn't have a choice. I had an opportunity on a grand scale to bring awareness or speak out against a wrong of our Muslim brothers and sisters, because we know if one part of the body is hurting, all of the body is hurting. This ummah is one body. So I didn't want to face my creator and not with a sign of weak faith when I knew I had an opportunity to show I didn't have weak faith.
Are you worried you may find it difficult to get work again, given what happened?
I trust in God, brother. I wanted to pass that. I fear God more than I fear man. I fear loss of wealth. I fear loss of anything else. I fear losing the pleasure of Allah. And it was clear to me with the signs of the show that Kendrick had the American flag and human bodies. He had his PG Lane flags. And it was also many signs for me to show those flags to show how we're all connected. Seeing his show, when him talking about the revolution being televised, him having scenes where the American flag is made out of in a human formation, him having his own company's flags flying around. I saw those all as signs for me to incorporate the flag. Him having Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam.
What's your response to the ban, and would you still have done it if you'd known the risks?
The risk of a ban? I was afraid I was going to get sniped by a Secret Service's bullet. I can watch a football program on the television if I choose to, sir. And I don't like large crowds anyway.
That was like they cut it a little early there, but he basically said, "He's like, what do you think about the punishment you've received? That you are now facing a lifelong ban by the NFL?" And then he was like, Like such a good response.
It's nice to see people like that. They give me hope, honestly. Like, people are willing to put their bodies on the line to just get a message out. I really love to see that.
Also, like, I feel like he's being really humble about it, because you have to audition, and then they have to go through months, more than 6 months of just training when it comes to this backup dancing. And it's not like they get paid a lot either. Some of them don't even get paid. And so for him to like go through all of that and be like showing up to every single practice and being auditioning just to show up with those flags, it's pretty remarkable, because it's not like he just grabbed the flags and like bought a ticket and went on field. Like, he was a dancer, he auditioned and he practiced for months to be that. So I think he's being very humble about it, because it took more than just being a bystander in the audience.
Yeah.
Be humble.
Yeah. No, that was great.
Yeah.
I think that what he pulled off was like incredible. Like, just simply put, I don't really know how else to, you know.
He was the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah. He won.
Also, guys, you guys should really watch Mo on Netflix. It's a really good show. I don't know if you guys have talked about it yet. Yeah,
no.
MO. It's called MO. So I watched. It's a new show on Netflix, and it's created and directed by a Palestinian, and it's all Palestinian people acting in it. Well, mainly it's about a Palestinian family. But so the first season was a little like, you can get away with just watching the second season. The second season was so freaking good. Like, you guys should definitely watch it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Yeah, you guys should watch it. It's basically about, the synopsis is, it's about a Palestinian comedian, excuse me, is the one that created it. But Mo is like undocumented, and he gets deported to Mexico, but he's Palestinian, so he tries to like cross the border, and it's just like, and then at some point in the storyline, they go and they visit the West Bank. Obviously they couldn't go to the West Bank, but they like recreated the West Bank, and they showed all the struggles of going in and out, and it was really cool. You guys should definitely watch it.
I will check that out. That sounds
that sounds actually really cool.
Yeah, you should.
It's amazing that's it's on, right? Like, it's a recent show, right? Like,
I feel like they just don't want Palestinian people to have a voice anywhere, even if they're not talking about like Palestinian human rights. Like, it just feels like they're like being systematically silent. So I want to support
this show has been top 10 in Netflix for like a couple weeks now. It's like a pretty big deal. I'm surprised you guys didn't know about it.
Wow, I'll have to watch it before I cancel my Netflix, because I'm about
to do it.
Oh wait, someone just reminded me about my Chuck Schumer clip that I have. Hold on, let me upload.
It's not the aroused one, is it? People are aroused.
It's one that I took.
They're aroused.
It's a Matt Binder exclusive.
Oh, right.
Hold on. How do I upload a video here?
You have to share the video file. There's an option for video file, and if you share that, you won't have to upload it.
Oh, I can? All right, cool. Oh, I see. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Apparently, it's produced by A24 as well.
All right, so this is a Matt Binder exclusive. So some context here.
Oh, okay.
A few weeks ago, I with my family attended the annual Lunar New Year parade in Queens, and lo and behold, I'm there with my kids watching the parade, and Chuck Schumer comes marching by. And credit where credit is due, unlike Kathy Hochul, who had a little truck float in the parade wishing everyone a happy new year, but did not show up. It was just her face smiling with the happy new year on it. He was there. And so I'm recording, and I this is about 2 weeks ago, and I didn't upload it right away because I wasn't sure if I caught the moment. And then also I had to make sure that this wasn't a moment where my kids are in the video, because I wasn't here to catch Chuck Schumer. This was like a family video where I see Chuck Schumer walking by, and then so I start recording. So I'm recording it. And he has one of the weirdest moments. I don't even know what he's planning here. I go back and forth between this being like so ridiculous, it's incredible, to like it just being like, I don't even know what to think of this. But here's Chuck Schumer sharing why he loves, sharing how he shows that he loves the community in Queens so much. This is so bizarre.
Happy New Year, everybody. Fana. You know how much I love this community? Red hat, red tie, red socks, head to toe. Happy New Year.
No, I don't know what he meant by that. It's because they're Chinese, and that the red is the color of communist China. I don't know.
Was that what he was doing?
Why else would he say that? What does that mean? I love the community. Look, red hat, red tie, red socks. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Just the fact that he has a little like microphone. Why are you talking? Just walk and wave. Shut the fuck up.
So red has a lot of symbolism in the Chinese New Year. They believe that it's good luck, prosperity, happiness, and it wards off evil spirits. But also when they give the little cards with money, those are
the
red.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Yeah, the
The red
decorations
envelope,
are red.
right.
The
But I
clothing
mean-
is supposed to be red too, so maybe that's what he was referring to.
Look at that. There's not a single person wearing red in that crowd. I mean, I thought it was bizarre. I don't think it's like
weird.
something crazy, like he's not going to get canceled or anything like that, but it's a very weird moment in my opinion.
So
He
you
was
took
trying
this
to flex his
video.
red.
You were that close to Chuck Schumer. Matt, why didn't you kidnap him?
Did you not see the armored vehicle
I'm just
behind him?
kidding.
I don't. Oh yeah, you can see it,
I'm
but it's
just
right over
kidding.
there.
No,
right
I'm just
over
kidding.
there
Of
in
course.
the left-hand corner.
I'm
You could have
actually
yelled. You could
surprised
have
he
yelled
was just
something mean at
walking
him.
like that.
Oh, but your
I
kids
can't
were there
believe-
though.
Yeah, I yeah.
Why didn't you mouth "fuck you" to him? Like really?
I would have done it. I would have just been
I'm
like,
such a
"Fuck you,
child.
dude."
I'm
Like,
such a
fuck
child.
you.
My thought is, how can I bully him?
Mike wants results.
I want to
Also,
bully him.
I have to point out that he was walking for blocks in this parade, and just so happened that he thought the perfect moment to stop and do this was literally right in front of me. Like, what are the odds?
Right place at the right time.
He wanted
Also,
to be on
he's
Leftist
old.
Mafia.
He's very old. He's very old. Like I don't recall him being this old. He looks much older in person than he does on TV. I'm being honest with you.
He's just
Like,
such a
he's-
goober. Like I hate him so much. Like looking at him. Ugh.
I can't believe he was just walking like that. Like, I feel like someone could have just jumped over the fence and like grabbed him or something. Like, I don't know.
All those people are specifically
Right.
with him. Like all these people.
I
are in
know,
his-
but like, it just seems a little, like.
Yeah,
someone
I
could've
mean,
definitely pounced.
they're not gonna risk their life for Chuck Schumer, so you could just throw him over your shoulders, run away with them, and call the ransom.
why would you risk your life to tackle a guy who's got zero power to do anything?
Because it would be funny for the meme.
Oh God.
That's so
Yeah,
hilarious.
Mike definitely
We're talking
has
about-
a CIA agent or something.
Oh,
watching
these
him.
motherfuckers got me tapped to the brim.
You know, you could have just ran up to him and like grabbed his hat or something.
Yes.
Like it didn't even have to be, you know.
Grab his hat. Take off
Mike
his
means
glasses.
I honestly didn't
Put on
think
his
much of
glasses.
this, but people have been begging me to upload it after describing it, and so I did. I don't think it's that crazy. It's just a weird moment.
Or a
I
missed
forgot about Chuck
opportunity.
Schumer, honestly.
Missed opportunity, I guess. I should have. Who knows? I should have given him a high five.
Just notice Mike's impersonation. That's accurate.
It is. Yeah, that's my impersonation of Chuck Schumer. Want to see it again?
That's a pretty
Talk
good
about
Chuck
how
Schumer
aroused
impression.
the people are.
I'm pretty sure he's Amy Schumer's cousin too, or something like that.
Yes,
Like,
he's
they were-
Amy Schumer's cousin. Yeah.
Yeah. And she just had that weird movie about being
That's a
pregnant
movie you
come out
probably
on
shouldn't watch on Netflix.
Yeah,
Ew.
don't watch that one. She pretends to be pregnant because as if that's like something that's like worse than she's done in real life. Oh, I'm faking being pregnant. That's the premise of the movie. Bitch, you're racist. Like, excuse me?
Extremely racist.
I can't believe she's still getting gigs. Like, it's crazy. Someone like Melissa Barrera got kicked out of the Scream franchise completely, and like, I don't know if she's been struggling to get roles, but meanwhile, Amy Schumer is getting like these Netflix headlines. It's actually pretty crazy.
It shows you that cancel culture is fucking bullshit. Oh, somebody has a great recommendation. Serenity in the chat says, Matt, you should have yelled that the crowd is aroused. We're aroused.
See, that would have been good.
I dropped the ball.
Yes, and then look him right in the eye when you say it.
Matt has so much to say about this video without him here. But you could have been like, your outfit's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Your beanie is stupid too.
I blew it.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
If I wasn't with my kids, I probably would have said something. But I wasn't there to cause a ruckus. I was there to
enjoy the parade.
Yeah.
Why is Daddy being taken away by those men in suits wearing glasses?
Mike made me do it.
I would have been bullied on the Leftist Mafia next week if I didn't do it. Like, I had to. Oh man.
I kid. I would never like do anything. Maybe I'd ask him a question about like corruption in Palestine and his support for genocide.
Oh my god.
Whether or not he'll turn himself into the Hague.
He wouldn't even look at you.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
It's so funny.
All right. Should we get to super chats?
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know what else to talk about, and my brain is too.
Also, my chat has been asking me if David is still on the show, and I'm pretty sure he's still on the show.
Yes,
he's getting a lot of, I think, burnout, like most people are. Just general everything's, but when he's able to, he will be here, and self-care is healthcare, so we endorse.
We're giving ourselves
he wants to.
A lot of room to take breaks during this time, so
yes,
bear with us because we need it.
Yes, we do. We're only human.
Yeah. Okay. Who wants to go first?
I just got two. I can read them off quick. Oh no.
Oh yeah, you go first. No, okay. You go first for sure.
All right. Sorry, 3, but I'll be fast. Prairie Fire, thank you so much for the $1.99. Trump keeps calling Trudeau a governor. So dumb. I'm sure all you guys saw that. But yeah, he also said he's going to consider invading Canada and turning us into the 51st state. So we're all scared over here. Izzy Sanchez, thank you for the $5. I heard Musk is trying to have the U.S. military use the stupid Tesla cars. Oh God, the U.S. Cybertrucks. The U.S. is going to be more ridiculous. I found out today they're not Cybertrucks. They're Ariana informed me that they're regular Teslas, just armor-plated ones.
They may be Cybertrucks too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, from what I understand, we don't know for sure what they're going to be.
I mean, they're definitely not going to work well in the winter, and they will, if you use the AI piloting, smash into people. So watch out.
Yeah.
Cyborg Manifesto with the $10. Do you feel the U.S. tariff backlash will affect your upcoming election? It already has. If you didn't know, there's, I guess, a little good news is that our trend for our next election has been moving towards no longer having a conservative majority, both because Trudeau dropped out and the country had Trudeau burnout, and also everyone, I think, is getting really afraid of what's going on in the U.S. So they're looking for other options. So the huge lead that the conservatives have is plummeting right now, and if that keeps up, maybe they could have a minority by the time the election rolls around. We shall see.
That makes me so optimistic.
Yeah, that would be.
It's
so
be really
nice
good to see. Canada, come on! You don't want this, and you need.
Yeah, I know. We need to
defend you against Trump.
We need a healthy place where people can come to. They need it.
Yes.
And then I guess finally, thank you, Steve_Boots, for the raid. Everyone go check out Steve_Boots. Great content producer.
Nice. Shout out.
Take it away, y'all.
Who's next? Ariana, I guess, right?
Yes, I'm just gonna go through them real quick. Sorry,
Mike, are you gonna remove them as they or
yeah.
Okay.
I can remove them. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Looney Tunes. The woke mob shall never defeat you. Love you, Ari. Thank you so much, Looney. Thanks for always being a great mod. I appreciate it. G-Wig, excuse me. $5. Good luck with your move to NYC, Ariana. Thank you so much. I'm definitely going to need all the luck in the world. Bay Photo, $2. Thank you so much. He blamed Biden for the inflation. LOL. You know what's actually funny?
Right.
I went to Whole Foods in New York and I pointed at this like full aisle that was empty. Like no, not even a single carton of eggs. And I was like, Donald Trump, this is what
Oh,
you
I
did.
saw that.
And I've gotten more comments than likes on that with Republicans explaining to me the exact how the economy goes and how this is not Donald Trump's fault. And I'm like, so you guys understood that now, but not okay.
All of a sudden, they're economists. Got it.
I've just been letting them. Yeah, all of a sudden, like I know that's not fully Donald Trump's fault. I'm just trolling. You guys are suddenly understanding how the economy works. Okay.
Yep.
Anyways, Izzy Sanchez, $5. Thank you so much. I know I'm late to this, but I know how you feel. I'm originally from NYC and I headed west because I needed a change. I hope you love my hometown. I miss it. I love your hometown. I love New York. Every time I go there, I feel like I need to stay. So I'm really excited. Kowalski, thank you so much for the 10. Food prices will continue to rise for this foreseeable future. Production pressure due to labor shortages, deportations, environmental pressures, plus supplies are monopolies now and choose prices. Yeah, it's really bad also because they're using different law enforcement agencies to do ICE raids too. Like I forgot, I think it was like the DEA and the tobacco firearms. There's a couple of them. Izzy Sanchez, thank you so much for the $10. I went traveling through Google Maps like I always do when my job gets slow, and there was the Gulf of America. And how does that affect eggs prices, health costs, and low incomes exactly? I think the Gulf of America thing was so stupid. It was like honestly an ego stroke, but whatever. Izzy Sanchez, thank you so much for the $5. We have a chance in 2026, 40 seats available. What do you mean?
Oh, I don't get why in Canada, for example, our Google Maps also has Gulf of America. And if you're in Mexico, it still says the Gulf of Mexico, but in other countries they changed it to Gulf of America. And I was like,
That's
why?
so stupid.
Okay.
Google is so cucked.
I thought it was just in the US.
No.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was just us going on our own path. Maybe it's true. Maybe everyone is scared of Donald Trump. Who knows? 40 seats are available for election in Senate, mostly Republican, and all seats in Congress are up for election in 2026. I don't know. Honestly, based on how people voted this past election cycle, I honestly have no hope whatsoever, but I hope you're right. There is a little bit of hope. Hopefully people will get it. G-Wig, thank you so much for the $5. On food bank days, the line is a mile long of cars waiting. If SNAP gets cut off, it will be worse. Yeah, I can't even imagine. SNAP is definitely a lifeline for a lot of people. RP71284, thank you so much for the $5. 1,000 of Fed workers fired after hours today through email, with more to come tomorrow, likely weeks after being forced into RTO, next level of cruelty. Yeah. I think that's so fucked up too, because we're still sending billions of dollars to Israel, and our own employees that have been working and honestly got their job are getting laid off and shit. But I will say, I know a couple of people that were in this position that just got laid off that work for the federal government. I will say though, there is some silver lining, because did you really want to work under Trump for another 4 years? I wouldn't, but I mean, I get it. That's people's livelihoods. But there's always light at the end of the tunnel, because I've been fired before, more than once, so it gets better. Cyborg Manifesto, $10. Sorry you've had a rough week, Ariana. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate you. Andrew S., $10. Hope you're doing better this week. I have been calling my reps nonstop to get their butts moving. I have been going to Indivisible's websites to find organizations, events to attend. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for the $10 and keep it up. Izzy Sanchez, $5. OMG, Schumer is such an embarrassment, and he's the opposition to Trump. This guy, the fuck, we doomed. We are doomed. Yeah, that's really true. G-Wig, thank you so much for the $5. Him and Hakeem Jeffries. I agree. Hakeem Jeffries has been a disappointment. Alexis, thank you so much for the $10.
Disappointment.
Y'all
I mean, I
should
wasn't
also watch
expecting
the
anything from
Palestinian
him.
documentary. No, it's so bad. I think I just saw an article of his where he was like, wait, let me pull it up because I was like, wait, is this real? I have to double check because I had to I bookmarked it. But the headline says Hakeem Jeffries reportedly very frustrated with liberal groups pressuring Democratic leadership to do more to oppose Trump.
Yeah. Yep. I have a video about this tomorrow.
That's really your job.
He also went on Jon Stewart's podcast and got attacked by every single commenter. So watch my video tomorrow. I talk about the Democratic Party leadership.
Okay, I can't wait. Y'all should watch the Palestinian documentary, No Other Land. I saw it in theater and it was phenomenal. It's currently nominated for an Oscar, but being suppressed. Ooh, okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I haven't even heard of that.
Yeah, me neither. No Other Land, guys. Kowalski, new pandemic starts March 13 by TP and Rice Now. Wait, why March 13?
Isn't that when COVID officially
That's I
became
think
a pandemic?
5-year anniversary.
That was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Damn. That's crazy. Tigwick, $10, just showing support. I love you. Thank you so much. Kowalski, most sanctuary city sheriffs are mad at ICE. I don't really know the inner law enforcement beef, but good to know. Bradley Plett, $10. Here in MB Canada, the Gulf of Mexico is marked as Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America. Oh, Lance, your fellow Canadian is saying that it's still Gulf of Mexico.
On mine, last I checked, it was Gulf of America, but I can check it right now.
I hate that Google is capitulating. They also took off like Pride Day and Indigenous Heritage Month. Like it just took up everything.
Black History
Month too.
Yeah, Black History Month. They just we're done. Full Nazi now.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's in brackets. It's Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America.
Oh, okay. Kind of falling in it, but not really. Thank you so much, guys. I know. I don't know. I don't get it. I would have thought that Canada would have stood up to America more, but I feel like everyone's just.
Well, it's an American company. It's just an American corporation, right? It has nothing to do with us.
Oh yeah, well that is true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. All right, guys, I am gonna head out if that's okay with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Take care.
I do have surgery next week on Tuesday, so I might be zonked out on Thursday.
Surgery.
I might be zonked out.
I hope everything's okay.
Oh, it's a beauty. Yeah, it's not.
Oh,
it's not. It's not like a necessary.
Okay.
Still scary. Still scary, but it's not like a health necessity kind of thing. It's something I've been saying for years. So. Yeah.
Okay. You had me worried for a second. I'm like, wait, what's going on? Have you been dealing?
No.
Okay, that's good.
No, you're okay. I'm fine.
Okay,
but yeah,
good.
I might be a little zonked out next week, so we'll see if I'll be able to come in. But week after that, I'll definitely be here. All right, guys, I love you.
You take care.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Hope everything goes well.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll keep you guys updated.
Do that. For sure.
Okay. Sounds good. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Okay. Do you mind if I do mine next?
Go ahead.
I'll probably.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say super late, so I could finish the video that I have planned for tomorrow.
Hey, just go ahead. No need to explain.
Okay. Starting with Cell, thank you for the 199. Congrats for reaching 600k subs. Thank you so much. Very excited about that. Thank you to John Lithium for the 5 gifted memberships. John, really appreciate that. This is the 4th week in a row now. I really am just blown away by that. Thank you so much. Jonathan Brown, thank you for becoming a member. Tyler Hackner, member for 25 months. Thank you so much. Andrew S., member for 19 months. Thank you very much. Next one here is from 180K Chan, $5. Thank you. Funny that Trump supporters are able to perceive the Gulf of America now that it identifies that way, but using people's pronouns, a foreign concept. Yeah, right? They can change Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. They can call Twitter X, but they won't respect anyone's pronouns. Interesting, right? RL Jam, thank you for the $20. I wanted babies, kids to not be bombed, killed, left starving, Medicare for all, everyone unionized, better pay, plus more, but I was too aroused. Sorry, my fellow Americans. Yeah, all those things sound amazing, and now they just seem so far out of reach, unfortunately. Mind of the North Star, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Really appreciate all of these gifted memberships, everyone. Autistic Goblin, thank you so much for your member Chad. As an autistic American, it breaks my heart how rabid anti-vaxxers are about eradicating autism. We are not a disease. Autistic kids are better than dead kids. Yeah, the way that they treat autism as if it needs to be cured is straight up like out of the conversion therapy playbook for queer people, where they would try to queer gay people of their gayness. Like, it's the same exact thing. So yeah, I'm with you there. Banquet of the Leviathan, thank you so much for the giant super chat, $20, very kind of you. My mom's coworkers at the CDC are getting doxxed on a DEI watch list. That is awful, because the CDC is one of the agencies that, I mean, they're all essential to just like our everyday lives and we take it for granted, but the CDC, I mean, we're still living through a pandemic. I don't even know if COVID is officially in endemic status yet, but like, we need that. And the way that they're treating these people is fucking disgusting, but not surprising. Dusty Partition, thank you for the $10. Truck nuts on Cybertrucks should be called Teslicles. I like it.
I like swastikas. I think that one works.
I love that. That's good. Hawk222, thank you for the 5. Did y'all hear about this faith office they created for the White House? So much for separation of church and state, and much love to Ariana. Yeah, I did hear about that. That seems like a Trojan horse to me, to basically try to remove queer people from public life, because like any time you hear about anti-Christian bias, usually that's code for, oh, well, like somebody that's being forced to not discriminate against gay people or trans people. So pay attention to that, because it could be worse than it sounds, honestly, even though it's obviously a violation of the First Amendment. Just, you always got to read a little bit deeper, or read between the lines and go a little bit deeper on these things. Let's see here. The next one, Autistic Goblin. Thank you for the 5. Don't hate on the toddler. Elon should have left him at home. Toddler was being a toddler. His dad should have known better. Yeah, he's bringing his kid there for attention, for sure. It's very weird to do that. Like, I would not want my kid in the spotlight. I wouldn't want all these cameras on him. Grimes very clearly doesn't want that. So the fact that Elon is doing that is just, it's very weird. But I mean, he's a weird, stupid guy, so he doesn't care. He's using his kid as a prop and for attention. Fuggy Bootsling, thank you for the 10 Canadian. Ariana, I want to make sure I have your blue sky right. Gen X listener here, re-endorsing Biden. Never ever apologize for learning, for evolving your views. Love watching you on this show. Yeah, I can tell you her blue sky. I'll pull it up really quick. So Ariana's blue sky is, it's just
it
Ariana
didn't show up for
Jasmine.
me. Yeah, it didn't show up for me in the search. It's weird. I had to literally like type in the URL exactly in order to follow her when I was looking for her. Yeah.
Well, it's arianajasmine.bsky.social. If you go to like my blue sky and click on who I'm following her. So you should be able to find her that way if she doesn't pop up in the search bar. Coffee Dog, thank you for becoming a member. Hank, winners and losers. Nice to see you, man. $5. Appreciate that. Thanks for having me on to talk. Tell the truth, Jenk. Audience was so generous. Wow, but I forgot one quick point, so I need another 19 hours. I'm the same exact way. Julio, thank you for the $5. Don't see this much. CFPB fought to lower CC late fees to $8, which was blocked by the corporate-friendly Fifth Circuit in Texas. Good thing it's gone. Elon. Yeah, on top of that, they, with regard to the CFPB, Biden had instituted a new rule to make it so that way medical debt wasn't going to show up on credit reports. That's now gone too. The most basic thing, just gone. Even the incrementalism we're not allowed to have anymore. It's so infuriating. Nicholas Reverin, thank you for the $2. Lance, will Polyev do us Trump 24 style?
I'd repeat the answer I gave for the other one. There's no way of predicting right now where things are going to go. It's just for the first time, it's really nice to see a very demonstrable positive trend. If you look at aggregate polling, like I do, if you ever want to check it out for Canada, go to 338. That's the best aggregate polling website. You can just type 338 in Google and it'll be the first website that shows you the entire country and a breakdown of every province, how they're going to vote, and then who's going to get a majority or minority or whatever. And right now, for the first time, the majority of the Conservatives are shrinking rapidly like that. When I looked into the details more, it's actually because of boomers. The older generation is the one that is moving away from conservatism faster than any other. The youngest generation obviously is the least conservative, but like in terms of the other ones, how they've shifted, it's the boomers who've gone like ba-bomb like that. So, good job. Millennials and Gen X, shame on us and shame on you. So,
damn, millennials in the U.S. are probably the most like left leaning. I think because of how we graduated into the Great Recession, and just like it's the timing, right? We're kind of products of our environment. But yeah, Canada, please, my God, give me a little bit of hope. Give me some hope that I can seek asylum in a country that's not completely fucked up one day. Should I need to? AK, thank you for the $50 super chat. That is so incredibly kind. If David was here, we'd put on the one of the sound bites. But thank you so much. Mike, I appreciate you. Thank you for unapologetically being yourself and always speaking the truth, even when it may be uncomfortable for some to hear. It's uplifting to see a humanist in these inhuman times. That is so kind. I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much for the validation and the really, really generous super chat. Thank you so much. Brian Schroed, thank you for the $2. I don't know who I hate more, Trump, Elon, or Chuck and Hakeem. Right now, I hate Elon the most, for sure, because I think he's doing the most damage. Then Trump, then Hakeem. No, I hate Chuck and Hakeem equally. Let's see. Kowalski, thank you for the $2. Long live the Republic. Down with fascism. Yes. Lars, thank you for the 5. Did you guys see Ethan Klein say the 1.2 million creators for Palestine raised was pointless and that he did the real activism by voting for Kamala? Yeah, I saw that. The man is losing his fucking mind, and the extent to which his content nuke against Hassan backfired is so hilarious. Comrade Casey did a video, I think he's North Star Radio on YouTube, just talking about like how the nuke basically blew up in their faces, and now people don't want to work with them. They're getting canceled. It's just, yeah, the dude is crashing out. Fuck Ethan
self-nuke. In like internet history.
Self-nuke, baby. So fucking funny. Yeah, what a clown. I mean, he's clearly like, he needs help. Like he's mentally spiraling. I don't know why nobody's like intervening and trying to like get him assistance. Who knows him? But it's just like, it's sad. Like I used to be a fan. It's sad, but he's spiraling. But listen, you're gonna put out a content nuke. Sometimes it's gonna come back to bite you in the ass, and this one very clearly did. Sean, thank you for the member chat. Down with Trump. Let's go Mets. Anonymous Bastard of Society, thank you for the 10. Hey Mike, just wanted to ask if you did the Zoom call last Friday because it usually happens on the 10th. Also, did you hear about the guy running for Nancy Pelosi's seat? Would you interview him? So we do our Zoom calls on the first Friday of every month, so it did take place last week. The next one is the 7th of March, I want to say. In terms of the guy running for Nancy's seat, yes, that is Shaikat Chakrabarti. He used to be the chief of staff to AOC, and he's primarying AOC. I would interview him, but I will say that I feel like he probably should have picked a different seat because he's defeating Nancy Pelosi is going to be very difficult. Like, yes, she should be primaried, but that name recognition and the staying power of Nancy Pelosi is going to be very hard to overcome. That being said, I wish him the best, and I hope that he gets in Congress somehow. If not in this district, then a different one, because I think that somebody like him, who actually gets under the skin of establishment Democrats, is exactly what's needed right now, because he did get under their skin for sure. Cyborg Manifesto, thank you so much for the $10. Hang on one second. There we go. I want to make sure I don't lose my spot. What are ways we can disrupt both big and small? So I think that the small thing that you can do, obviously, is just stay engaged on social media, keeping yourself informed. And then big, it's hard to have an impact that's big when it comes to national politics. But as we've been saying recently on the show, you can have a massive, massive impact at the local level. And I don't think people realize this. Show up to city council, talk to your city councilors, run for public office locally if you want to do something like that. I mean, like helping people in your community, mutual aid, that is the best way to have immediate and big impact. Like you're actually doing something. Volunteer at a food bank, at the Humane Society. Like now, there's going to be a need for that more than ever. So I would say consider something like that. Cameron Barnett, thank you for the 5. What do you all think of the idea of Rashida Tlaib being a 2028 candidate? I mean, look, she would have my vote. I would love that, but I don't think the Democratic Party is going to let anybody who is as reasonable as her anywhere near power. So it would never happen. Joel S., thank you for the 10. All right, YOLO, I'm ready to fight back. That's for all y'all do. Well, thank you so much, Joel. Glad to hear it. Tigwick. Oh, I missed Tigwick's. I'm sorry. I just unstarted, but I can read it here. Tigwig sends in $10. Thank you, Tigwig. Kind of want to see you guys heckle Chuck Schumer now. I do too, honestly. I do too.
I'm sorry. I really blew it.
You did.
Never again will I not heckle a politician when I see
You take
them.
that opportunity, you heckle the shit out of him. Sel, thank you for the $1.99 and for becoming a member. Are you guys boycotting any businesses? I'm not like officially boycotting any businesses, but I actively avoid certain businesses. Like I haven't been to Starbucks probably in like 2 years.
I've been doing full BDS for a while, as far as I can. I can't boycott the company I work for, right? Like, so I can't boycott Amazon effectively because I stream on Twitch. But in terms of like, same with Mike. I don't shop at any of the baddies. It's not hard. There's so much better coffee than Starbucks. There's so much better burgers than McDonald's. Like it's not one of those things where it's like, oh god, the struggle every day just to put my part in there.
I will admit I did break my avoidance of McDonald's after the election because I was depressed and I really wanted I wanted to try the chicken Big Mac. So I did break that. But for the most part, I kind of avoid those businesses. But I mean, it's hard.
There's a chicken Big Mac?
There's a chicken Big Mac. It's not great. It's not great at all. So it was a waste of calories. I am full BDS though. And on that note, it's funny. Somebody had reached out for a sponsorship for ExpressVPN, and I responded saying I don't work with them because I'm doing BDS. That's an Israeli-owned company, and they're also sponsoring Islamophobes like Ben Shapiro and Ethan Klein. And the dude responded, he's like, "Oh, I didn't know this, so I'm gonna avoid them too." It was like a company that offers sponsorships to creators. So like response was so my response was like, yeah, they're Islamophobic. They support the IDF, and I don't want to be aligned with them ever. And the person like literally thanked me for letting him know about that. It was funny.
That's really cool.
Yeah, making a small difference, you know. Okay. Next one here is going to be from Bay Photo. That is $1.99. Thank you so much. TikTok is back in the app stores now. Yes. Oh, by the way, my TikTok has been hacked, everybody. So I started a new one. It's Mike.Figueredo now. Haven't posted anything.
That's what they were waiting for. They're waiting to take down Mike, and then they put themselves back in the app store. Someone had to take down Mike first, and now they're back up.
Damn it. Yeah, I had 11,000 followers. Now they're all gone. No, I don't know what happened. I checked, like I just tried to log in, and my login wasn't working, and they got in. They kept everything, and they just changed the name of the account and haven't done anything with it. They sent me like a verification code because I have 2-factor on, and they still got in. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get it back through TikTok. They just like are slow and don't answer. It's very, very weird because I feel like I do my due diligence to keep my shit secure. So I don't know.
I had someone who I helped, a friend who had their TikTok hacked, and I helped them get it back. If you there's a specific thing that you say where you file that and you provide proof that you originally created the account, like any sort of screenshots or information in terms of like details when you signed up, like your birthday and email address and things like that, and they help you get it back quicker. Did you fill that stuff out?
Yeah, I filed a report. The problem is that like the system keeps crashing and it won't let me find the hacked account. That like
Probably
when
because
you put
of
in the name.
what's going on, like
Yeah. So I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world. I don't use it enough. Like I don't give a shit about the followers. I just have all my favorite videos that I have saved, and I want access to those. So yeah, not the biggest deal in the world, but still very stupid and annoying.
Mike just wants access to his thirst traps. God damn it!
No, it's like it's really like it's mostly like wholesome shit or video game like tips and shit, and just like it's my fucking TikTok. Like, let me have it. It's the one thing I have. Like, give it back to me. God damn it. Robert Douglas, thank you for the $5. Does anyone by now get that the Trump regime is employing Gleichschaltung? Get very familiar with it. It's right out of the Nazi playbook. I'm not familiar with that specific term, but they're absolutely using the Nazi playbook. I actually did a video about this last week about how Hitler dismantled democracy in the first 53 days, and Trump is like basically doing it in a very similar way. So yeah, you're not wrong. Kowalski, thank you for the $2. Gulf of America, lame. Gulf of Humanist, based. That actually sounds great. I like that. Justin Kozuk, thank you so much for the $20. Very kind of you. The fact that Dems haven't figured out championing Republicans like Cheney, who agrees with them only about Trump not being in office, is a massive L. They'd rather blame by POC, smart by the way, alienate the base, they need to win. Yeah, this is what they've been doing. It's the dumbest thing ever, but this is what the Democratic Party does. I mean, they're so clueless. My entire video tomorrow is me just ranting for like 30 minutes about how Democrats are so fucking stupid. So tune into that. JCast, thank you for the $5. Did y'all hear about a theoretical class action lawsuit against Elon? If so, where do we sign up? So I have heard about this. Jamie Raskin floated this idea, and you wouldn't have to sign up. You'd be automatically opted in based on the way that he described it. So I think that is a brilliant idea. Like, have everybody sue him in a massive class action, bankrupt his ass because he actually got access to our sensitive information. That's illegal. He is not authorized to do this. Nobody consented to this. He's not even, he didn't even undergo a background check for the fucking government. So, yeah, I love that idea personally. If we can, like, drain him of his resources, I think that would be great. Sue the fuck out of him. Jar, thank you for the $5. Had to spend my $200 Amazon credit because I'm struggling. Rent doubled this season when I moved. I mean, don't be down on yourself for, like, spending money on at shitty corporations. At the end of the day, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. We do the best that we can. And if you had a credit, like, I don't blame you at all for spending your credit, right? Like, I get my prescription from Amazon because it's cheaper. Although I feel like I should look into Mark Cuban and try to do his little cost share plus thing, just because that might be cheaper for me. But we do the best that we can. It's called Cost Share Plus, I think. And he basically charges you the cost to manufacture your medication plus 15%. And I think that would save me around $40 on my medication. So I might do that instead of Amazon. With Amazon, it's actually weird. So I pay $3 more with insurance, but if I uncheck my insurance, I save money, which doesn't make any fucking sense to me. It might be like a Prime discount or whatever. I don't even know if I have Prime, if I'm being honest. I don't think I do. It probably expired. I don't remember. But either way, like, do the best that you can. Like, we live in a capitalist system, so you're not gonna like be able to support many co-ops or many ethical companies. They're all shitty, so don't beat yourself up if you can't do it. I think if there's like a massive boycott that's really organized and focused, definitely engage in that. If there's a strike, never ever cross the picket line. For the most part, when everything else, just do the best you can.
Also important not to all turn on each other if they're not doing the exact thing you want them to be doing that you might be doing at any given time. I find that like there's a lot of wasted time online with discourse sometimes where I'm just like, are some of these people ops? Because I can't believe there's like an entire debate around like, should you exercise? Should you not exercise? A fascist worked out today. And then I'll see all these people who spent like hours of their day, fighting over something like that, where I'm just like, I don't think anyone is benefiting from this.
No,
You know,
those are all just straight up CIA agents arguing with each other. I refuse to believe anything else, or bots. Okay, Cyborg Manifesto. Thank you so much for the $20. A few ideas: neighborhood pantries, an underground couch surfing system for trans people across the USA. That's a great idea, actually. Neighborhood pantries are something that are actually great. Also, those neighborhood like little book cubbies as well. If you see those, though, take out the Bibles and throw them in the trash. But yeah, any little neighborhood thing like that, those are great. I like the idea of an underground couch surfing system for trans people. That's great. Yeah,
that's
idea.
awesome.
That's all I got.
All right, so I'll pick up on mine then. Here we go. Are you gonna stick around, Mike, or?
I'll stick around for a little bit because it's still pretty early.
All right, cool. So,
I'll stick around for a little bit too.
All right, cool. So here we go. S. Kowalchuk with a super chat. Is this the support group for people who want to punch 90-year-old men in the face? Well, if Mike Figueredo is here, then it very well might be.
That. I love old people and young people and all people.
Oh, this was for you, I think. Did you read this?
Oh yeah, I forgot to undo that one. Sorry. I thought I got them all. I feel like I got them.
Looks like you forgot a few others. This one is a good job, Mike. Just not removing them. Unbelievable.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
Now I gotta double check. Andrew S with a super chat. No, just a member for 19 months. Chat, no message. Thank you, Andrew, for the support. I appreciate it. We got John Jeffrey with a membership super chat, member for 1 month. Get me out of the US, please. You're stuck here with me and Mike. John, sorry. Wanda with a membership super chat, member for 19 months. Thank you, Wanda. My church filed a lawsuit against ICE this week. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
I feel like we need to know more.
That's awesome, Wanda.
We need more information about this one. Penelope Diote with a super chat. The AMA has a YouTube channel that is putting out great information every day. Not a government agency, so not affected by the communication ban. Yes. Bayphoto with a super chat. Why are we even confirming cabinet picks when Elon is just going to dissolve all the agencies anyway? Yeah, why is like Linda McMahon currently getting a confirmation for the Department of Education when they want to just do away with the Department of Education?
Yeah.
Rolando Capelleja with a super chat. Lil X is the first child of Canadian singer Grimes. Yes, I know. We all know about her and her.
We're sorry.
Yeah. Looney Tunes 9000 with a super chat. Was going to call in last night to talk about the man who got arrested at the Super Bowl for the support of Gaza and Palestine, but I'll call next time. Please do. And we did talk about it. I don't know if that was before we did or it was in response to it. But yes, Carrie Shaw with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Carrie. Elon's kid was ill-mannered, but don't bring a 4-year-old to a White House meeting. It's weird. Yeah,
I blame the parents. Kids are innocent. They're going to be kids. Kids will be kids.
Same, absolutely. And my dad, member for 18 months. Thank you, Dad, for supporting me for 18 months and also probably for 18 plus years. Elon's evil spawn reminds me of the 3 teenage clones of Hitler in The Boys from Brazil. I have not seen that. I'll have to. Kowalski with a super chat. Trump wasn't this brazen when Carter was alive, right? Jimmy Carter was keeping everyone in check, right? Yeah. Oh boy. YT commenter with a super chat. Elon called people who benefit from federal programs the parasite class and has called Fed agencies weeds that need to be pulled. If MAGA ever wakes up, he is going to be wearing his kid everywhere. Right. But they won't.
Yeah.
Lizzie Bennett with a super chat. Hey, Matt, any thoughts on the mayoral candidates for NYC? I'm leaning more towards Jessica Ramos and Zoran Mamdani. Would be great to interview them. Yeah, Zoran is definitely the choice. He is the one. Jessica Ramos has been okay as a a local representative. She's had some issues. Zoran is the leftist choice for mayor, and he has some real momentum. I think he could potentially pull it off if that momentum continues. People seem to forget that when Bill de Blasio first, and yes, I'm using Bill de Blasio as an example because Bill de Blasio, when he first ran, he was not a favorite. He was nowhere even in like the top 5. He used progressive movements and the momentum from that to push himself up, and he ended up beating the lieutenant mayor, or whoever was Michael Bloomberg's second in command, who was the favorite. He actually was a upstart sort of candidate. He was like the Bernie Sanders of that mayoral race. He became mayor and he sort of sucked in a lot of ways. Still, actually, looking back, much better than the mayors we've had over the past 20 or 30 years. But it's very possible. And in an era of Trump, I think it's even more possible in New York City, for sure. We'll see how it goes. It can't be Eric Adams, though. And reminder, thank you for bringing this up, Lizzie. If you are not a registered Democrat in New York, you have until tomorrow to register for that Democratic primary for mayor. That's basically going to be picking who the mayor will be. And it's ranked choice voting, so you could pick Zoran and then whoever else you'd like. Jessica Ramos, Brad Lander, everyone but Eric Adams. Adams has to lose. Our mayor right now is Donald Trump. Because Eric Adams, he had the charges from the DOJ dropped, but they're still able to refile them against him. They're basically holding Eric Adams hostage. Eric Adams on his own sucks. But on top of that, he's being held hostage by the Trump administration to be their puppet because he does not want to go to jail. He cannot be the mayor. We cannot have a mayor that's beholden to Donald Trump because he himself is afraid he will be jailed for crimes he actually committed. So please, if you hate the Democrats even, register as a Democrat, vote in the June primary for mayor, this June, and then you could go back to you could change parties again right after. We need to make sure Eric Adams is not mayor. And we could very well have a socialist mayor too, like a real socialist mayor who wants to make the buses free.
That'd be awesome.
Listen, say what you want about Bill de Blasio, but out of all the mayors we've had over the past couple of decades, he, without a doubt, had the most important policy passed. Because of Bill de Blasio, pre-K in New York City is free, universal pre-K. That was very consequential in, his whole mayoralship was worth it for that.
Yeah.
Eric Adams, Michael Bloomberg, Rudy Giuliani, all those guys didn't have anything in their reign, in their time in office, as important as that moment. So imagine if we get a real socialist in office, what he can do, even if it's just one or two things. All right. I'm sorry, I had to go on that rant.
It's important.
Yep. Tokyo Hans with a super chat, member for 19 months. Thank you, Tokyo Hans. Matt, as your FBI agent, please watch your cola intake. It's a bit low. Right. The Tungsten Wire with a super chat. Did you see Doge AI went rogue and called out Doge? Oh, yeah, I saw that you sent that to me. It's not like an official AI. Someone built like an AI that's going around like being like pro Doge, but then it went rogue on like the Medicare and Social Security reform stuff and started talking about how the Republicans want to hurt the middle class. Tokyo Hans gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Tokyo Hans. I really appreciate that. Cyborg Manifesto with a $10 super chat. Do you think they will try to replace our currency with crypto? I don't know. I don't think that'll be the end game. I think they just want to let these guys run their crypto scams free from any regulation or punishment. But we'll see. Who knows anymore? Nothing will surprise me. Star, that's your like asterisk. That's your username. I've never seen that before. Wow, asterisk with a $10 super chat. We can't send the most innocuous messages of substance here anymore unless we edit and try again. Totally non-controversial words, no joke. WTF is seriously going on. Are you talking about like super chats? We have no control over any sort of censor, like moderation that YouTube puts down on that. And you can say whatever you want on my super chat as long as you're not ruining it for other people, like spamming and being annoying and stuff like that. But my mods have that ruling from me that even like right wingers, conservatives, as long as they're not just like destroying the chat, like removing its function by spamming and doing stuff like that, they can disagree with me, call me names, whatever they like. So we have no control over YouTube stuff like that, though. Tokyo Hans with another super chat. Chuck Schumer to his assistant. Betty, cancel my appearance on Leftist Mafia next week. Tigwick with a super chat. $10 Canadian super chat. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you, too.
Yeah.
Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Here in Japan, Google Maps labels it as Gulf of Mexico, parentheses, Gulf of America. Wow. I don't know why you need to do that. Just don't put Gulf of America.
Yeah.
Is this for me? My YouTube screen froze, so I can't double check. But Cell became a YouTube member for somebody. Thank you, Cell. Lunar Spunk with a membership for 6 months super chat. Can you say yes X out loud? Yes X? Yes X? Jay Cass with the super chat. Hey Matt, were you ever a former bassist for I Wrestled the Bear once? Kind of look a bit like him. I am familiar with the band. I did not play bass for them. I don't think I look too much like that guy. I looked it up when I saw your super chat. I don't look anything like him, actually. HD Drake with a super chat. Matt, next time Schumer has an event, you and your friends should mix in the crowd and start chanting, "We are aroused." I don't even know what to say about that. Marla Surratt with a membership for 5 months super chat. Let's tell Trump we'll support his Canada plan if he gives us all the U.S. universal health care. No, but he's selling it like Canada needs to be saved from.
I don't think y'all would gain it. I think we'd lose it.
Yeah, that's exactly what would happen.
Lizzie Bennett with a super chat. Good thing I'm a registered Dem, even though they suck. Right. Just got to do it for this. And someone just got a super chat that isn't me. I think it might be from Mike or who knows. From Ellie May. Keep up the great work and happy V-Day. I don't know who that's for, but whoever it's for, thank you. All right, folks. That's all the over on Twitch. Did I get anything? Nope. That's it for me. Is that all for you guys?
I'll just quickly say thank you, Non, for becoming a serve. Thank you, Izzy Sanchez, for becoming a serve. Thank you, Tigwick, for becoming a serve. Soul Life, thank you for becoming a member again. And Bill Williamson, thank you for the $2. I'm not up to date with the Big Me Trick Ross versus 50 Cent beef, but I will look into it. And who are we rating?
Oh, who's on right now? Let's
Yeah,
see.
who
Thank
do
you,
you
Political
recommend?
Poppy, as well. Sorry, on Twitch. And
Oh, okay.
Rue5585. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Let's see
Who do you
who's on.
think?
I see Jason Society, Riverboat Jack. Who
Ravenna's
else?
streaming. She doesn't stream a lot.
Yeah, let's rate her.
Okay. Ravenna.
Oh, is she
She's
she on right now, or is it? Oh, she is. Okay. Because
Can we do that?
sometimes she's just like multi-streaming, and it's the other folks on her stream. But is she actually on?
She is. She's with the Power Report with Dan
All right,
from the
cool.
Internet
Let's
and
rate
Christina.
Ravana. Sounds good to me. You ready to do it?
Oh, yeah,
Let's
one more
do
super
it.
chat. You got that. $10.
go ahead.
Thank you. Gafo de Loco Gringo. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna press the raid button now.
And
Start
thank all
raid.
the mods, everybody, for all the chats, because the mods do important work and they keep us safe.
Thank you
and they're
all
awesome.
so much.
Yeah, thank you,
Absolutely.
moddies.
Thank you,
Sorry,
everyone.
my brain was
are-
pudding
moddies
today.
are
I am
glorious.
too tired and stressed out. Focus. I apologize.
I'm pressing the button. You ready? Raid now.
Let's
All
do
right,
it.
bye, friends. Love.
Peace.
Take care, everyone. We'll see you next week.